in the coastal town of Bulacan, Bulacan, with an initial capacity to serve 100 million tourists a year. This will bring about the benefits of comfort in travel and better mobility of goods and services. Resources and industries. Blessed with a total land area of 2,796.1 square kilometer, with 11,141 hectares are used as fish farms. 94,510 hectares are forests. 136,521 hectares are planted with variety of crops. Bulacan produces more than 360,000 MT of palay, more than 600 MT of coffee, and more than 100,000 metric tons of other crops. Bulacan produces almost 60% of the volume of hog production in central Luzon. In a province blessed with a vast network of rivers and their tributaries and its long coastline towards Manila Bay, it is not surprising that its aquaculture resource provide yet another potential area for establishing a competitive edge for Bulacan. Harnessing the waters of the Angat River has also made Bulacan a major supplier of power to the Central Luzon and Metro Manila grid. The people. Our richest resources are the Bulaqueños themselves. Well educated, the province registers one of the highest literacy rates in the country. Bulaqueños are naturally hardworking and are known for their ingenious craftsmanship. Home to 3.2 million people, coupled by a high employment rate and the purchasing power that goes with it, makes Bulacan an extensive market for local investors. A high degree of entrepreneurial tradition exists among Bulaqueños. Bulacan is home to more than 47,000 micro, small, and medium enterprises engaged in agriculture, aquaculture, agri and food processing, garments, furniture, handicrafts, jewelry, leather goods, and fireworks, including retail trade and services. Governance. The provincial government has enshrined its commitment to becoming an investment hub by implementing investor-friendly policies. Investment incentives and enabling ordinances have been adopted by the different local governments in the province to promote an environment conducive to the growth of business. Ongoing future projects. Bulacan has emerged at the forefront of the country's move toward globalization. Bulacan Bulk Water System, a 17 billion peso project, aims to attain universal access to potable water in the province of Bulacan. Angat Dam and Dike Strengthening Project and Angat River Downstream Improvement Project that would increase the discharge capacity of the Angat River. Modernization of flood monitoring and management system of Bulacan is now on its way to completion. Plaridel Bypass Road, a toll road project that links the NLEX in Balagtas, Bulacan with the Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway. The North-South Commuter Railway project will begin construction by the first or second quarter of 2019. The Manila-Bataan Coastal Highway, a comprehensive infrastructure solution to protect the coastal towns of Manila Bay from high tide and storm surge. The North Luzon East Expressway alignment will serve as alternative route going to San Miguel. We offer an irresistible investment proposition. Partner with us towards progress. Together, let us make the blueprint for development a reality. Choose Bulacan. Invest Bulacan.
Ang Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition o higit na kilala sa tawag na Buffex ay unang ginanap noong September 2013 bilang highlight ng Bulacan Business Week na siyang ambag ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry sa taunang pagdaraos ng Singkaban Festival. Ang unahing feature ng Buffex ang selling exhibit ng mga pagkain mula sa Bulacan, mula agriculture, aquaculture, livestock, processed food, baked products, condiments, food supplements, catering services, gourmet and delicacies, dairy products, sweets and confectionery products, at maraming pang iba. Naging isang big hit ang Buffex at sa loob ng nakalipas na 8 taon ay naging isang permanente at hinahanap na kaganapan tuwing linggo ng Bulacan. Sa nakalipas na mga taon, ito ay ginaganap sa loob ng 5 araw, sinasalihan ng mahigit sa 130 sellers at binibisita ng hindi bababa sa 5,000 mamimili. Nakapaloob sa Buffex ang mga plenary sessions na pinagbibidahan ng mga bigwigs sa business tulad nila PLDT President Manny Pangilinan, San Miguel CFO Raul Romulo, mga government officials tulad nila President Noynoy Aquino at Senador Mar Rojas, Cynthia Villar at Ma'am Aquino. Ang Buffex ay bantayog ng isang matagumpay na partnership sa pagitan ng pamahalaang panlalawigan ng Bulacan kasama ang Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Science and Technology at ang Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation. Ang mga plenaryo ay nagbibigay linaw sa katayuan ng ekonomiya at negosyo sa ating lalawigan. Nakapaloob din sa Buffex ang maraming trainings at seminars para sa pagpapalawig ng kaalaman sa pagnenegosyo. Dinadaya sa Buffex ang mga culinary shows na pinagbibidahan ni Chef Boy Logro, Chef Jessie Sinsioco, Congressman Lorna Silverio, Bukal Emily Viseo, Mayor Maritza Choa, at Mayor Bebong Gatchalian, at nina Chef Rico at Gino Padilla, Gromnick Sarmienta, at Chris Villanueva. Nandiyan din ang pagalingan sa pagluluto ng adobo gamit ang sukang paumbong at ng arroz a la Valenciana. Higit na nagpatingkad sa istorya ng Buffex ang mga pagpapasikat ng mga Buffex kids na siyang dumiskubre sa mga child wonders na sina Harry Rodriguez, Dana Alexia Arsiaga, at Nathan Contreras. Lubos na kasiyahan naman ang dinudulot ng mga dance moves na pinamalas ng mga langkay-langkay na kapataang Bulakenyo na lumuhok sa sayawan sa Buffex. Sa nakalipas na 8 taon, binigyan tugon ng Buffex ang hilig ng mga Bulakenyo sa masasarap na pagkain. Kukutin man o putahe, fusion man o classic. Basta yaring Bulacan, tiyak, nasa Buffex yan. Sa mga programang inilunsad ng Bulacan Chamber, wala nang hihigit pa sa tagumpay ng Buffex. Ika nga, kung ang hanap mo ay sarap at ligaya sa buhay, punta na sa Buffex.
Nakalive ako. Good morning to all of you wonderful Zoomers now watching the most positive and relevant launch happening in our lives amid the global crisis. Today is indeed day of many firsts. First, Buffex launching without the usual crowd during our opening day. Without the 100 plus booths in the HIES Pavilion, which has been our home for the past exposition since 2012. First time, no ribbon cutting. On the bright side, we found the opportunity to be more resourceful and creative. Today is our first virtual exposition where we could host an unlimited numbers of merchants and showcase all their products. The entrepreneurial spirit of the Bulacanyo cannot be dampened by fear. The risk-taker attitude that has enabled businessmen to grow is the same spirit moving in each of us here today. As we rise up from the dust and head on forward to the vast horizon that is the World Wide Web. This is Buffex 2020 with our team, Kalusugan at Kabuhayan, Yaman ng Pamayanan. The Bulacan Food Fair and Expositions on its 8 years, now going online. I am Nina Benaventura, your host for today. And to lead us in our opening prayer of Thanksgiving, please welcome Dr. Jehan C. Chavez, Vice President for Advocacy of the Bulacan Chambers of Commerce and Industry.
Magandang gabi po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ngayon po ay dudulog po tayo sa panalangin. Kung maaari lamang po para po maging solemn ang ating pananalangin, paki-check po ang inyong button doon sa kaliwang baba, nakasulat po ay mute. Paki-make sure na po na nakamute. Natin ang katahimikan sa oras po ng pananalangin. Kung nagawa na po yan, tayo pong lahat ay pumikit at dumulog sa ating Panginoong Diyos. Ama namin, ay dumulog sa inyo sa umagang ipinagkaloob niyo sa amin sa araw na ito. Napakalaking challenge po ang aming pinaharap dahil sa pandemyang aming natatamasa ngayong panahon na ito. Bagamat kami ay nasa kalagitnaan ng ganitong krisis, kami po ay nagpapasalamat at nagpupuri sa mga pagpapala na araw-araw ninyong ipinagkakaloob sa amin. Salamat po sa araw na ito na kung saan ay magkakaroon kami ng grand launch ng aming Bulacan o Buffex 2020. Bagamat kakaiba ang paraan ng aming pagseselebra, ay alam po namin na itong aming initiative ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry ay pagpatuloy ang nakasanayang Buffex, ay alam po namin na hindi po ang lahat kami ay makikinabang, lahat kami ay matututo sa ganitong mga pamamaraan. Ibuso nga po ang inyong pagpapala sa mga pagtangkilik, sa mga organizer.
Hindi na kayo kumain sa likod.
Sa lahat ng mga nag-participate at na-involves dito sa Buffex 2020, kayo po, Panginoon, ang siyang maitaas sa lahat ng aming mga ginagawa. Babangon po kami dahil meron po kaming pinanghahawakang pangako na nanggagaling sa inyo. Sa lahat ng mga pinagdaraanan namin, alam namin na mapagtatagumpayan namin ito dahil meron kaming Jesus sa aming puso. Meron kaming Diyos na inaasahan sa araw-araw na sa lahat ng mga challenges namin, Panginoon, kayo makikita namin at matutunghayan ang iyong kadakilan at kapangyarihan sa lahat ng asungan. Salamat po, Panginoon, sa teknolohiyang pinag-uupo. Kung walang internet, hindi po natin magagawa ang mga bagay na ito. Kaya, Panginoon, maraming salamat po sa lahat na nag-conceptualize ng aming proyektong ito. Ay, Panginoon, gamitin niyo ito at ibuhos niyo ang inyong pagpapala sa aming mga SMEs, pang MSMEs, Panginoon. Dati kami 47,000 MSMEs. Kung sa gitna ng pandemya, ay ba ay hindi na pero alam namin pamamagitan ng proyekto nito, Panginoon, ay palagi ang lahat at sa pagkakita ng aking kakalapit. Ito ang may taas sa aking
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
We now call on Mr. Alexander John R. Torres, Vice President for Operations, to acknowledge our guest.
Good morning, everyone. It is our distinct pleasure and honor to have with us today our most revered speakers, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, our beloved Governor of Bulacan, Governor Daniel Fernando, San Miguel Corporation President and COO, Mr. Ramon S. Ang, here represented by San Miguel Holdings Financial Officer, Mr. Raul Romulo, and Reputation and Brand Architect Crisis Management Specialist, Ms. Amor Maclang. And to all our well-wishers, Department of Science and Technology Secretary for the Academia, Ambassador Yuwiko, Undersecretary Blesila Lantayona of the Department of Trade and Industry, Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Inc., Chairman Mr. Herminio Esguera, TCCI Area Vice President for North Luzon, the ever-gorgeous Mrs. Gigi Simbulan, to our powerhouse team headed by Chairman Corina Tenco Bautista, and our hardworking President with a big heart, BCCI President Christy Tuzon, and the members and Board of Trustees of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We welcome everyone present here in the Zoom room, our new breed of virtual merchants, buyers, friends of BCCI, and participants. We thank you for lending your most valued presence on this very special occasion. Muli po, magandang umaga, and let us enjoy the rest of this online session.
Thank you, Mr. Alex Torres. Today's activity is a product of the persistence of these ladies. Here's to give us her welcome remarks, BCCI's outstanding president, ladies and gentlemen, Christina C. Tuzon.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Our highly esteemed and dignified keynote speakers, um, sorry po, nakamute. Our highly esteemed and dignified keynote speakers, VP and CEO of San Miguel Corporation, Mr. Ramon S. Ang, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, Founder and Chief Communications Officer, Geyser Maclang Marketing Communications, Ms. Amor Maclang, our staunchest partners and supporters, Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, President Ambassador Benedicto Yuico, PCCI Chairman BC Balhim Limhoco, DOST Secretary Honorable Fortunato de la Peña, DTI Undersecretary Blesila Lantayona, of course, our well-loved Bulacan Governor Honorable Daniel Fernando, Vice Governor Wilhelmino C. Alvarado, PCCI Area Vice President for North Luzon, Gigi Simbulan, Chairman Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, the ever-dashing, our favorite, Sir Hermie Asguera, Sales Head of Globe, My Business, Mr. Marvin Montes. Of course, I would like to thank and acknowledge the presence of our BCCI trustees, headed by our chairman, Corina Tenco Bautista, trustees, Vic Mendoza, Attorney Agata, Carmen Uchoco, Cristina Puentes, Engineer Ches Tinopo, Tin Pontillas, Maura Manuel, Alexander Torres, Peya Mangulabnan, Benjo Cruz, Rina Anyag, Dr. Jehan E. Chavez, Pinky Luna D, Lilibet Alcaraz, Josephine Santos, Andres Del Rosario, and Carlito Jeronimo. We would like also to thank our reliable and competent, hardworking secretariat headed by Executive Director Mara Bautista. We have Ruth Jimenez, Rory Kalayag, Efren Lopez, Arlene Kayanan, Kaparas, sorry. And for Negosyo Center, we have Clarice Nambayan. For Dangal, we have Jomel Ventura. And of course, Jean Madlambayan. I would like also to thank our merchants, our participants, our guests, and also our sponsors. In a short period of time, pinagbigyan po nila tayo. We have Globe, we have San Miguel Corporation, and of course, Union Cement. Maraming salamat po, Sir Ed Sahagun. And also, more sponsors will be mentioned later in the program. Today marks another milestone as we launch our Bulacan Food Fair Exposition for the 8th run. Buffex is our featured activity in line with the celebration of our Bulacan Business Week. We started conceptualizing this program year 2012. It became an iconic part of Singkaban. It became an iconic part of Singkaban. And it was institutionalized brand. Every business faces these tremendous challenges as we combat this COVID-19 pandemic. There were 27.3 million Filipinos who are jobless, and 26% of businesses have closed since this virus hit our country. BCCI, as your voice of business in Bulacan, thought of innovating our flagship program that will support businesses to survive and thrive, to adapt and be flexible to the consumer's new and evolving needs. We decided to launch this Buffex online primarily to help, assist, and aid the micro, small enterprise and even startup business to keep afloat. Since our economy was brought to its knees, we believe that this is one way of uplifting their status, and we felt the need for them to access to a wider market. BCCI developed this online portal as a venue to consummate the buying and selling act. Last year, 2019, we had an ASEAN integration, and we invited 3 Asian neighboring countries like Vietnam, Thailand, and Taiwan to participate in our food fair exposition. We did not expect this pandemic will brought us fear apprehension, and anxiety. But as Filipinos, we are all resilient in facing challenges and life's crisis. We face our normal setup in this time of uncertainties. We, we need to wear face mask, face shield, observe social distancing, and frequent hand washing. In short, we have to coexist with this COVID-19 just for us to continue our life's journey. This is the day that despite this is the day that we have proven that despite of our present situation, we can't afford to stop our economic activities just for us to survive. Today is a day of victory over the threat that generates so much fear among all of us. Let us join hands to this noble endeavor as we guide, support, and sustain to recover our vibrant economy. In behalf of the BCCI Board of Trustees, I would like to thank you and welcome you all present here today. Be with us as we celebrate Buffex Online 2020. Namnamin at tangkilikin po natin ang produktong sariling atin. Maligayang Buffex po sa inyong lahat at hangad po namin ang inyong kaligtasan. Muli, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Once again, thank you very much, BCCI's outstanding President, Christina C. Susan. We will now proceed to the launching ceremony of the new Buffex online virtual market portal.
In the midst of the COVID crisis, businesses cannot afford to just sit down and wait for what's in store for them. The micro and small enterprises are clearly the most adversely affected sector by the pandemic lockdowns. The Bulacan Business Week 2020, highlighting the launching of the Buffex Online, will serve to guide Bulacan businesses in their path to recovery and eventually emerge as self-reliant enterprises. Buffex Online is a market portal developed by the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It is offered to micro and small enterprises as their access to the global marketplace. Also featured are guest food merchants from nearby regions such as from Pampanga, Bataan, Nueva Ecija, Isabela, Baguio City, among others. Allied services are also welcome to join. Yes. How does Buffex Online work? Buffex Online can be viewed by the public all over the world. Everyone can browse the market portal, find the seller or the store or the items that you want to purchase. Portal users can easily browse or find the seller or the store by alphabetical listing. Browse for the items for sale by product name, category, description, or by featured products, or look up through the search button. Interested merchants may apply online. Just fill up the application form and click Submit, or you may contact the BCCI Secretariat via email, FB Messenger, or through their contact numbers at 794-1754 or 791-2574. Sa madaling salita, Ang Buffex Online ay parang isang mall kung saan ang bawat tindahan ay may kanya-kanyang page. Dito, maaaring ipakita ng mga merchants ang kanilang mga product list with corresponding prices, contact information, promotional advertisements, and delivery and selling terms. The Bulacan Chamber is now in the process of arranging for accreditation of prospective delivery partners. Buffex Online gives the buyer a sense of protection as all merchants and their products are pre-validated by the BCCI. Buffex Online is BCCI's offering of timely and quality service to its members and to the Bulacan business community. Ano pa ang hinihintay nyo? Sali na sa Buffex Online. Sama na sa BCCI.
Congratulations, BCCI, for hitting another milestone. You are tuning in. At this point, let us take the opportunity to hear some short messages from our closest partners and staunchest supporters.
In the midst of the COVID,
First in line is one of our events partner for our week-long celebration.
the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry would like to thank the following event partners: Globe My Business, San Miguel Corporation, Union Cement, Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, the Provincial Government of Bulacan, the Department of Trade and Industry. We would also like to thank the following donors: Aspen Philippines, Bahay Natisa Restaurant and Catering Services, FC De La Cruz Construction and Concepts, Good Greens Plus Company, Hiyas Water Resources Incorporated, Mega Pacific Corporation, Royal Crest Cement Corporation, St. Agatha Resort and Country Club, Standard Insurance Company Incorporated, Manuela Gonzalez Concrete Pipes Incorporated, Metrover Services Incorporated, Metrobank, Freeway Motor Sales of Baliwag Corporation, an anonymous donor friend of BCCI.
Once again, thank you for our sponsors. At this point, let us take the opportunity to hear some short messages for our closest partners and staunchest supporters. First in line is one of our event partners for our week-long celebration, the head for sales of Globe My Business, Mr. Marvin Montes.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting Globe My Business to be part of the Bulacan Food Expo. This is such a relevant event showcasing the wonderful products coming out of the province of Bulacan. At this point, allow us to congratulate all of you, all merchants present, the staff, officials, and board members of Buffex. Congratulations on putting together such a relevant event, especially during these uncertain times. We in Globe would want to remain committed to more than just being a telco company to all of you. For Globe My Business, the SME arm of Globe Telecom, we want to provide the relevant digital solutions to the Filipino entrepreneurs to be able to adapt to the new normal. With the current situation of our economy, we very well understand the challenges of our SMEs. We know many of you are struggling. Marami sa inyo ang nahihirapan to keep afloat during this uncertain times. Marami sa inyo ang iniisip paano ba mapagpapatuloy ang livelihood ng inyong mga empleyado at marami rin sa atin ang nahihirapang mag-adapt sa tinatawag nating new normal. Kaya simula pa lang nung ECQ at quarantine period, we here in Globe My Business launched several initiatives to help our SMEs. And very recently, we launched Saludo SMEs, wherein we aim to honor the ever-resilient and strong SMEs of our country. On days when you need to learn more tips and tricks on running your business or would want to benchmark and learn from those who have already succeeded, you may want to visit mybusinessacademy.ph for Globe My Business Academy online. And on days wherein you need upgrading by adopting more technology in running your respective businesses, you can go to the Globe website by typing globe.com.ph, or you may also get in touch with our Globe My Business telesales agent by dialing 121. Our hotline is open every Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Our vision will continue to focus on empowering the Filipino SMEs dream at all times as they navigate through this crisis and beyond. And while there's a lot of uncertainties now, one thing is certain. We want the SMEs to emerge as winners in the future. Here's a video that we hope will inspire you as we all face a new tomorrow. Thank you.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're always a day
Maraming salamat, Mr. Marvin Montes. Our next greeter is BCCI's staunchest partner in the private sector. Here's to give his message is the chairman of the Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Mr. Herminio S. Esguerra.
Magandang umaga po. Sa ating pinakamahusay na kalihim ng Department of Science and Technology, kagalang-galang Fortunato T. de la Peña, sa ating butihin at masipag na Senador, kagalang-galang Sherwin T. Gatchalian, sa kabigha-bighaning Undersecretary ng DTI, kagalang-galang Blesila A. Lantayona, sa ating simpatiko na punong lalawigan, Governor Daniel Fernando, ang Pangulo ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry at kasama ko sa Rotary Club of Manila, Ambassador Benedicto Yuico, sa aking kumadre, kaibigan at Area Vice President ng PCCI North Luzon Area, at ang aming Pangulo sa Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Ginang Gregoria Gigi Simbulan, ang simpatika na chairman ng Chairman of the Board of Trustees ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ginang Corina T. Bautista, at kay Ginang Cristina C. Tuson, siyang Pangulo ng BCCI at bumubuo ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce, sa mga kapitapitagang panauhin, pandangal, mga kaibigan, isang mapagpalang umagang punong-puno ng pag-asa sa ating lahat. Malugod ko pong ipinararating ang aking lubos at marubdob na pagbati sa pamunuan at bumubuo ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry sa pagbubukas ng ika-8 taon ng Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition or Buffex. Hindi po lingid sa kaalaman ng ating mga taga-subaybay ng Buffex na taon-taon ay pinagdiriwang ito na tila baga isang malaking kapistahan ng pagtitipon-tipon ng iba't ibang negosyante, mga ngalakal ng Bulacan. Maging ang mga galing sa ibang lugar upang may pamalas na rin kanyang angking produkto at mga serbisyo. Ito ay naging tradisyon na kung saan na ipamamalas ng mga Bulakenyo ang mga yamang produkto na talaga namang pinagmamalaki ng ating pinakamamahal na lalawigan. Saksi po ako sa mga nakaraan na matingkad, matao at masyadong maraming masayang okasyon noong mga nakaraan. Sa totoo po, ako mismo sama sa mga namamalengke at bumibili ng sari-saring produkto doon sa Buffex display. At ako po ay nasisiyahan palagi at naalala ko ang mga gumagawa ng mga produkto na ito at sila po ay ang ating mga bayani. Ngunit sa taong ito, salungat sa ating nakasanayan, ang Buffex ay ipagdiriwang natin ngayon sa ating kanya-kanyang tahanan gamit ang internet, alinsunod sa mga tuntunin ng panibagong pamumuhay na tinatawag nating new normal. Nakakalungkot mang isipin na ang isang pinakahihintay nating okasyon sa buong taon ay hindi natin masisilayan ng buo at personal. Sa kabilang banda ay makikita pa rin natin ang masidhing kagustuhan ng BCCI na maihatid pa rin sa atin ang sadya nating nakagawiang Buffex. Gustuhin man po nating makasama-sama uli ang napaka-importanting pagdiriwang na ito, atin pong inuuna ang kalusugan at kaligtasan ng bawat isa. Siya din namang kahanga-hanga ang tunay na pagkakaplano, pagkakaorganisa ng Buffex ng online. Talaga naman pong ang pagtulong natin sa ating mga kababayan ay hindi panapanahon lamang, bagkus sa lahat ng mga pagkakataon. Ang BCCI po ay naging katuwang na rin ng dangal ng Bulacan Foundation Incorporated sa pagpapalaganap ng kahusayan sa larangan ng pangangalakal, industriya at pagninegosyo. Kung inyo pong tatanungin, ang BCCI at dangal ng Bulacan Foundation ay naglungsad na rin ng mga proyektong ang layon ay pagyamanin at palakasin ang lokal na ekonomiya sa pamamagitan ng mga programang lumilinang sa mga negosyante ng probinsya ng Bulacan sunod sa aming bisyon at misyon. Kung kaya naman, malugod naming sinusuportahan ang mga advokasya at proyekto ng BCCI. Bilang isang mangangalakal o negosyante, batid ko rin po ang epektong dulot ng pandemya nang wala sino man sa atin ang nag-akala. Marami ang nawala ng kabuhayan dahil dito. Tila bagang naikulong tayo sa ating kanya-kanyang tahanan upang maibsan ang lalo pang pagkalat ng suliraning ito. Ngunit laking pasasalamat natin sa makabagong teknolohiya kahit paano ay nagagawa pa rin natin ang ating kinakailangan gawin. Tunay ngang may masiglang buhay pa sa likod nitong dagok sa atin ng panahon. Sa katunayan po, ako ngayon ay nasa Batangas, malayo sa aking opisina at sa nakagisnang gawain sa pang-araw-araw. Batid kong kayong lahat ay naninibago man din, ngunit naniniwala ko sa likas ng mga pagkamalikhain, pagkamaparaan, at pagkamasipag nating mga Bulakenyo, atin itong malalampasan. Tulad kung paano hinarap ng BCCI ang kasulukuyang hamong ito. May talino, may sigasig, may paniniwala at higit sa lahat, bukal sa loob ng ang serbisyong ihatid sa ating mga Bulakenyo. Tunay nga kayo ang lehitimong voice of Bulacan business. Sa punto pong ito, bago ko po tapusin ang aking pananalita, hayaan niyo pong iparating ko sa BCCI, sa pamunuan at bumubuo nito, 10 ng aking mga kasamahan sa dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, ang mainit nating pagbati sa ngayon na matagumpay na paglulungsod ng Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition online. Kami po sa DBFI ay tunay na sumusuporta at naniniwala sa inyong mga adhikain. Muli, isang mapagpala at magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Some years back, this maverick lady was at the helm of the BCCI. She has moved upstairs and is now the area vice president for North Luzon of the Philippine Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Our very own, the ever gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gigi Simbulan.
Good morning. Am I coming in clear? Good morning.
Good morning. Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Good
Loud and
morning.
clear.
Rinig niyo po ako?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Yes po.
Ay, salamat po. Secretary, USC Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. Honorable Sherwin Gatchalian, Senator, Republic of the Philippines. ASEC Bless Lantayona, our good friend from way back and a staunch supporter. Governor Daniel Fernando. Vice Governor Willie Alvarado of the provincial government of Bulacan, who have been consistent partners and supporters of Buffex and many of the, if not all of the activities of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry way back, not only from my term, but from previous leadership. PCCI President, Ambassador Benedicto Yuhico, our icon in business, entrepreneur par excellence, and a world and a corporate model, Mr. Ramon S. Ang. Of course, ang ever lovable compadre, na nadinig ninyo lahat ng magagandang salita ng Bulakenyo ay nasabi na niya. Marikit, maalindog, natutuwa po ako. You really made my day with your speech because I couldn't imagine another entrepreneur par excellence to still be giving such praises in very, very malalim na Tagalog. Ang Pangulo po ng Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Inc. Ngayon ay talagang full-time partner na rin ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, our good friend, Mr. Herminio Esguera of Horema Industries. Pare, good morning. President Cristina Tuzon, the best in her position that she has occupied for a few years, and I hope will continue to lead the organization because palakas po ng palakas ang organisasyon natin. Kaya we need creme de la creme of our business community, and that is certainly represented by President Cristina Tuzon, sorry. Chairman Corina Bautista, good morning po. President Emeritus Violi Luna, one of your, sabi nga, most loved president of PCCI. Chairman Emeritus Rene Simbulan, who's watching us in and out because they're also conducting the Chamber Management Forum for the Mindanao area. Former Chairman Baby Nings. Members of the Board of Trustees and officers of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ms. Mara, our Executive Director, and her Secretariat. Distinguished speakers, guests, our dear MSMEs to whom Bulacan offers this project, and some of whom have already joined the online market portal that is Buffex Online. Isang maganda at mapagpalang umaga sa inyong lahat. Lubos na kasiyahan ang aking nadarama sa araw na ito sa pagbubukas ng Bulacan Business Conference at Bulacan Food Fair and Exhibition or Buffex. Sa panahon na tayo ay nasa gitna ng matinding mga pagsubok na nararanasan ng lahat sa ating bayan at bansa at sa buong mundo. Sa taong ito ng Diyos, 2020. Ang tema ng pagdiriwang na ito ay napapanahon, kabuhayan at kalusugan, yaman ng pamayanan, ipagpatuloy ang nasimulan, pagsubok, sama-samang lampasan. Ito ay tunay na akma at karapat-dapat sa kasalukuyang panahon. At ito, ay, sa aking paghanga at pag-intindi, ay nagpapahayag ng buong tapang na ang krisis na ating kinalalagyan ay ating malalampasan. At alam po natin na tayo, bilang mga Bulakenyo, ay hindi humihinto basta-basta sa paglampas lamang sa mga krisis. bilang mga mamamayan ng isang lahing matatag sa pagsubok, lahi ng mga magigiting na bayani at magagandang dilag. Tayo ay higit pang mas magaling at mas mahusay sa ilalim ng bagong normal na sinasabi na tawag natin sa kasalukuyang panahon. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you will agree that the theme of today's celebration proclaims that we as a community will weather the perfect storm. This pandemic, and the resulting intense economic difficulties that nobody amongst us has ever imagined to happen in our lifetime. We will not just survive with courage and resilience. We shall overcome, tulad ng sabi ng tema, sama-samang lalampasan ang krisis at magiging mas matatag pa, mahusay at magaling sa pagnenegosyo, sa paglilingkod sa bayan, sa paglilingkod sa ating mga negosyante, at sa pagkikipagkapwa-tao. The way to recovery and back to the path of progress largely hinges on innovation. And as President Benedicto usually says in his speeches, this is the time to innovate. So this is the time for the Bulacan online to start well, because it is an innovative undertaking. Not only that this project supports his team as PCI President of Innovation, which is Innovation Nation. Hindi lamang po bilang angkop dahil sa sumusunod po sa tema ng ating PCCI National President, Ambassador Yuhiko, kundi talaga pong kumbaga sa sa bola, shoot na shoot, at saan magsusuper dunk pa po yan after a while, after a few months, I believe. This project is a fine example and manifestation of how to navigate through the present challenges with innovative projects to transcend the constraints on health and restrictions on doing business posed by the crisis, to serve well the needs of small businesses and entrepreneurs, to market and sell their products, to revive employment, and further to get the economy back on its feet again. Furthermore, business online is a vital key to competitiveness for our MSMEs, as it offers strong market presence through its online portal. What could be a better means to be present and known in the market than to be seen and be able to transact in a few clicks of the finger, effectively and efficiently? This is the very essence of Buffex online. And I am truly impressed by the design of Buffex online, not only for you to see the products, but for you to review the profile of the one selling the products. As you may want to know them better, and of course it will attest to their integrity and excellence as producers. So, as again, this project is key to competitiveness, and that is what we should really do to elevate our MSMEs not only to the next level, but to even much higher, several levels in doing business. Thus, it will certainly be a big boost to MSMEs and individuals who are now engaged in online selling of food products. And there is really a multitude of them, especially among the young. It will be advantageous for them to join Buffex Online, an online market portal that will open a wider marketing horizon with infinite possibilities and opportunities beyond geographical boundaries using the technology of today. Sabi nga po sa inyong teaser, at ang Buffex Online, actually hindi lang po just a mall. It is a mall where The selling spaces are organized, which can hold other activities that will increase the patronage of possible buyers. It is not just a mall, it is an international mall. It is heartwarming to witness that from its humble beginnings in 2012, Buffex is now on its 8th year, has indeed gone a long way and in longer ways with today's grand launch of Buffex Online. One of the first, if not the first, in North Luzon, which yours truly is the area vice president, and mounted by no less than the most outstanding chamber in the Philippines. In 2018 and 2019, under the leadership of our current president and unstoppable president, intelligent and caring President Cristina Tuzon. I therefore would like to congratulate the leadership of BCCI, again with a talented, strong-willed, and hardworking president at the helm, President Cristina Tuzon, and the team of highly committed trustees and officers, the dedicated and untiring Edie Mara Bautista and her secretariat. We in the past leadership of Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry support this project with pride. Gaya po ng sabi ko, nandyan lang po ang ating PhilCDI PCCI Director, Rene Simbulan, past President Emeritus Yoli Luna, past Chairman Tony Tenco, and past Chairman Dean Wilhelmina Nays. Nandyan lang po sila at masayang nagmamasid at nakikinig at alam kong ibibigay nila ang kanilang buong suporta. So, on their behalf, I thank President Cristina, Chairman Corina Bautista, and the BCCI family for your determination and persistence in dreaming, planning, and implementing worthy projects such as Buffex Online, honoring BCCI's tradition of excellence in service as the voice of Bulacan business. As Area Vice President of the North Luzon and Director in the National Board of BCCI, I enjoy the full support to this project of the regional governors of North Luzon, of Regions 1, 2, 3, and the Cordillera Autonomous Region, to help promote this laudable project where the MSMEs in their respective communities are welcome to join and benefit as producers and vendors, and likewise as buyers of quality goods. Ladies and gentlemen, let us support Buffex Online in our little or big ways and make it fly from today out of the doldrums into the long term. From here into the ASEAN region, to the global market, to the world. On behalf of PCCI, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, lending its full support to this project. Congratulations on this, another milestone in the success story of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the chamber movement in the Philippines. Wishing you all the best. Fly high, BCCI. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay.
Once again, thank you very much. Thank you, Area Vice President Ma'am Chichi. Marami pong salamat. Our next speaker is the undisputed leader of the pack that is chiefly responsible for advocating for the welfare of the private businesses in the country. Friends, please welcome PCCI President Ambassador Benedicto Yuico.
Ms. Gigi Simbulan, Area Vice President, North Luzon. Ms. Cristina Tuzon, President, Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Officers and members of the Bulacan Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. ako ay nalulugod na maging kabahagi ng pagbubukas ng inyong Bulacan Business Conference at Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition na may temang kalusugan at kabuhayan, yaman sa pamayanan, ipagtuloy ang nasimulan, pagsubok sama-samang lampasan. Napakaganda ng napili na tema at pagtitipon na ito. Sa panahon ngayon ay nararapat ang pagtuunan natin ng sapat ang pansin, hindi lamang ang kalusugan ng ating mga mamamayan sa kabila ng hamon ng pandemya, kundi ang kalusugan din ng ating ekonomiya. Kung hindi natin gagawin ito, ay di hamak na mas malaki pang problema ang kakaharapin ng ating minamahal na bayan. Time and again, we in PCCI have maintained that instead of lockdowns, we should learn how to live our lives with COVID. I know that many of you participated in the recent North Luzon Area Business Conference chaired by our hardworking Area Vice President, Gigi Simbulan, and you probably heard me stress the need to kickstart our economy by allowing businesses to operate. We have passed the stage where government-financed social amelioration programs can feed millions of Filipinos who are not able to have gainful employment or sufficient livelihood during the quarantine. I am glad to note that last week, the IATF allowed the reopening of more businesses. This will be helpful to the economy, which has suffered tremendously during the lockdown. It is our fervent hope that we will be able to sustain this economic momentum through a deep sense of community. As we contain the spread of the virus, we have always taken pride in our bayanihan spirit, and once again, we have to rely on that highly cherished Filipino value. Pagsubok sama-sama nating lampasan. By this time, you may have also heard me declare that innovation is at the core of my term as head of the organization. I have full belief that the Filipino can compete with the rest of the world when it comes to innovation. The recent news that the Philippines has climbed to number 50 in the Global Innovation Ranking is a testament to this, although I am sure we can perform much better. Innovation, as we have seen it in many highly successful economies, can move us forward faster. Your online convention and trade fair is a good example of how we should innovate to effectively adjust to the current environment. The launching of the Bulacan Market Portal that will showcase local food producers and service providers is a step towards inclusive recovery for MSMEs in Bulacan. This is also in line with the Pinas Muna campaign of PCCI, which aims to stimulate the growth of domestic consumption and jumpstart the economy by promoting local products, services, and tourism destinations. This online portal can eventually be connected to the PCCI e-commerce platform branded as Shop All, which will be launched during the Philippine Business Conference and Expo on October 7 and 8, 2020. Shop All is an e-marketplace facility meant to help members of PCCI and local chambers, particularly MSMEs, to access wider markets. Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with the able and hardworking leadership of its officers and members, has through the years become an important pillar of the chamber movement in the country. Being recognized as the most outstanding provincial chamber in the Philippines, you are in a better position to go forward and improve the chamber movement. Thank you very much and maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Good morning.
Thank you, Ambassador Yuiko, for your very enlightening message. And now, a true friend of the BCCI who has supported us throughout the years, our dearest Undersecretary, Blesila Lantayone.
Una sa lahat, pinapaabot ng Department of Trade and Industry sa lahat ng mga Bulakenyong negosyante at sa mga kasapi ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry ang buong pusong pagpupugay sa inyong pagsasagawa ng taunang Bulacan Business Conference at Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition or Buffex. Ang mga kaganapang ito ay ilan lamang sa mga pinakakaabangang mga aktibidad sa lalawigan. Kaiba po sa mga nakalipas na matagumpay na pagtatag ng nasabing eksposisyon, ang mga nasabing aktibidad ay may inaasahang pagbabago dulot sa kasalukuyang nararanasan nating pandemya. Sa unang pagkakataon, ang Bulacan Business Conference at Buffex ay gaganapin sa pamamagitan ng online platform. Sa ngayon, alam naman natin na angkop na ang paggamit sa makabagong teknolohiya sa kalakalan. Nararapat lamang na sa taong ito, nauumpisahan na nating ipakita na maari na ngang isagawa ang malagong pakikipagkalakalan sa pamamagitan ng internet. Dati ko na pong nakasama ang mga taga-BCCI at ang ibang pinuno ng Bulacan. Kaya naman, buo ang aking paniniwala na sa inyong husay at tiyaga at pakikipagtulungan sa iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan sa inyong lalawigan, maipagpapatuloy natin ang mga nasimulan na natin sa mga nakalipas na Buffex at Bulacan Business Conference. Sa kabila po ng nararanasang pagbagal ng takbo ng ekonomiya sa maraming bahagi ng bansa, patuloy pa rin ang pagtulong at pag-agapay ng DTI sa ating mga micro, small and medium enterprises or MSMEs. Ang aming kagawaran ay patuloy na nagbibigay ng serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan. Nitong nakaraang buwan, nagkaroon po ng pondo sa pamimigay ng livelihood starter kits sa mga apektadong komunidad sa buong Bulacan at ito ay ilalim sa programa ng DTI na tinatawag na Livelihood Seeding Program, Negosyo, Serbisyo sa Barangay. Gayon din naman, patuloy ang pagsasanay ng ating mga MSMEs sa iba't ibang larangan ng pagnenegosyo. Batid natin na lalo pang kailangang pag-ibayuhin ang pagsasanay sa mas angkop na modernong paraan gamit ang internet upang lalong makakaabot sa mas maraming kliyente. Ang ating mga negosyo center sa buong lalawigan ay bukas at handang mag-abot ng iba't ibang serbisyo upang ang ating mga negosyante ay umunlad. Umasa po kayo na sa pamamagitan ng aming masisipag na mga tauhan sa DTI Bulacan, pagsusumikapan po naming masuportahan ang mga kaganapang ganito na nagpapayabong panglalo sa pangangalakal at negosyo sa lalawigan. Nagbibigay-pugay po kami sa maayos na pamamahala ng BCCI sa pangunguna ng kanilang masipag na pinuno na si Ginang Cristina Tuzon, 10 ng kanyang mga kasamahang opisyales at mga miyembro. Muli, lubos ang pagbati naming ipapaabot at sana maging matagumpay ang pagdaraos ng Bulacan Business Conference at Buffex 2020. Patuloy po nating pagtulungang palaguin ang kabuhayan ng ating mga minamahal na kababayan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Undersecretary Lantayone. Bago po tayo magpatuloy, kinikilala po at narito na at kapiling din natin ng ating bukal, Ramon Pusada. Also greeting us today is Bulacan's most valued son, a person who has raised the bar of public service and one who is providing the nation's a great inspirations and sense of purpose as he continues to provide systematic solutions to the problem. Bulacan's pride, DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña.
Ang masigla at mainit na pagbati sa pamunuan ng ating lalawigan ng Bulacan, pinamumunuan ni Gobernador Daniel Fernando at sa ating mga namumuno at kasapi ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, sa lahat ng mga entrepreneur sa iba't ibang larangan, maging ito ay sa paggawa ng mga produkto o kaya ay sa provide ng logistics at iba pang mga serbisyo na may kinalaman sa pagkain. Taon-taon ay dumadalo ako sa Buffex or sa Bulacan Food Fair and Exposition 2020. At nakakalungkot na hindi tayo pwedeng magkasama-sama physically, face-to-face ngayong taon na ito. Ngunit nakakatuwa rin dahil gawa pa rin natin ito sa pamamagitan ng teknolohiya. Ang ating tema sa taong ito ay tamang-tama. Kalusugan at kabuhayan. Yaman ng pamayanan, ipagpatuloy ang nasimulan, pagsubok, sama-samang lagpasan. Alam po ninyo, kami sa Department of Science and Technology na aking pinamumunuan ay nag-report linggo-linggo sa aming mga nagawa. At yan ay mapapanood sa programa na pwedeng makita sa Facebook live yung aming DOST report tuwing Biyernes, ika-4 hanggang ika-5 ng hapon. At ang tema ng aming pagre-report ay may kinalaman sa kalusugan, kabuhayan, kaayusan at kinabukasan. Kaya itong tema natin ngayon na kalusugan at kabuhayan, yaman ng pamayanan ay tamang-tama po. At ang aking lang masasabi, ang Department of Science and Technology ay patuloy sa nasimulan na nito na pakikipag-partner sa ating mga entrepreneur at mga institusyon sa Bulacan para matupad ating mga hangad. Na alam una ay umunlad tayo at syempre sa ngayon ay malampasan natin ang ating mga pagsubok. Meron tayong mga maitutulong ang Department of Science and Technology po ang ibig ko sabihin sa iba't ibang paraan. At siguro ay iisa-isahin ko ito, maaaring meron akong hindi maisama, pero ito ay mga sumusunod. Po kaming mga bagong na-develop na mga food formulations na po pwedeng i-adapt ating mga entrepreneur. Nandiyan na po yung ating tinatawag na mga ready-to-eat food, no? Na kailangan at madaling i-transport, katulad po nung amin ng na-develop at ginagamit na rin lalo na pagka mayroong mga disasters, yung aming instant arroz caldo at saka yung aming instant rice with smoked fish na ready to eat. At ngayon ay tinatransfer na namin kasalukuyan yung aming technology through the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, yung aming Enhanced Nutriban or e-Nutriban. Dun sa mga medyo hindi na masyadong bata, matatandaan pa nila yung Nutriban noong mga 1970s, introduce yan. At natigil nga lang ang pag-distribute ng Nutriban dahil ngayon ay binibigyan na ng meals ang mga bata. Pero sa kasalukuyan na mahirap ang face-to-face classes, ay malaki ang maitutulong ng pagkain na tulad ng Enhanced Nutriban dahil madali itong i-distribute. Ang e-Nutriban ay tinatawag na enhanced dahil pinag-aralan kung ano ang kailangang nutrients at enerhiya ng mga bata in terms of calories, at yan ay tiniyak na maipapaloob sa aming dinevelop na Nutriband. Ito ay tumitimbang ng 160 gramo, pero nandyan na yung mga pangangailangang nutrients at saka calories for energy. At ito naman ay libre lang inililipat ang teknolohiya, lalo na dun sa mga existing na nating mga nagpo-produce ng tinapay diyan sa ating area, o kaya naman diyan sa mga institusyon katulad ng ating mga universities na merong food processing or food technology programs, ay madali nila itong makukuha sa Food and Nutrition Research Institute, at makikipag-ugnayan lang sila sa Department of Education at sa Department of Social Welfare and Development, dahil sila po ang ahensya ng gobyerno na siyang mamimili ng Nutriband at mag-distribute sa ating mga kababayan at sa mga kabataan. Gusto ko banggitin na patuloy pa naman ang aming programa na tinatawag na Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, na maaari siyang ma-avail ng ating mga micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. At ito ay naghahangad na maiangat ang capability, capacity, quality, at productivity ng ating mga food enterprises sa pamamagitan ng teknolohiya, lalo na ang mga equipment na makapagbibigay ng ganitong improvement. Nariyan din ang aming bago pa lang na programa para sa mga startups na bilang pagtupad sa bagong batas, yung Innovative Startup Act na naging batas dito lamang later part of 2019, at inatasan ang tatlong departamento ng gobyerno, ang Department of Trade and Industry, ang Department of Information and Communications Technology, at ang Department of Science and Technology, na magkaroon ng kani-kanilang programa para sa mga startups. Ito ay magsisimula sa pag-identify ng kung sino ba yung mga startups, at meron pong tinatawag na registration system. Kailangan sila ay nandoon sa innovative startup register bago sila ay makapag-apply para sa mga assistance na manggagaling dito sa tatlong ahensya ng gobyerno. Nariyan din po ang aming one store na siyang tumutugon naman sa online ordering and delivery ng mga produkto ng ating mga MSMEs. Yan po, nung nag-umpisa ay dinesign lang namin para sa mga beneficiaries ng Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program. Pero binuksan na rin po yan sa ibang mga enterprises, basta makamit sila ng certain requirements, katulad ng government registration, at saka yung pong mga requirements na may kinalaman sa food safety. At ito siguro ay maitatay up doon sa i-launch din ng Bulacan na Bulacan Market Portal, na kung saan magkakaroon na rin sila ng online system. Gusto ko din banggitin na meron kaming bagong programa na tinatawag na DOST Smart Food Value Chain System Program. Katulong din ang isang programa ng DOST na tinatawag naming One Store. Ito po yung aming online ordering and delivery system sa mga produkto na ginagawa ng ating mga micro, small, and medium enterprises. At ito ay noon pa sinimulan, siguro mga 5 taon na ang nakararaan, pero ngayon ay biglang dumami ang naging parokyano o customer dito dahil nga sa ating sitwasyon na may limitation sa mobility. Ang isa sa mga unang nakipag-partner sa One Store ay ang Department of Agriculture Field Office number 2 doon po sa Cagayan area, at ito ay pinagkasunduan ng aming regional office ng DOST doon at ng regional office din ng DA, yung kanilang field office, na kung saan ang mga produkto na isusupply ng mga kadiwa producers, ito po yung ating mga farmers, ay ma-deliver through One Store. At ito yung ating Kadiwa Ani at Kita program ng DA. At alam ko na ang iba naming mga regional offices ay gusto na rin itong i-replicate. Kaya siguro ang ating DOST Region 3 naman ay iniisip na rin yan na makipag-partner sa Department of Agriculture Regional Field Office. Ito po ay mainam kasi madaling makagawa ng order, madaling makadeliver, ang payment system ay online din. At ang kainaman po nito ay matitiyak natin kung kailangan yung produkto at nang sa ganon ay hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng mga sitwasyon na mayroong mga produktong nasisira na dahil hindi pa nag-move. Abangan din natin yung isa pa naming bagong programa na ang pangalan ay DOST Smart Food Value Chain System. At ito ay may mga components na umpisa pa lang sa primary production mula sa taniman na kung saan inaani natin ang ating mga agricultural products, food products, ay magdadaan sila sa post-harvest processing, sa storage, at nandyan din yung packaging. Pwede ring dumaan doon sa aming testing facilities at syempre yung logistics na kailangan para ma-transport ang mga produkto sa iba't ibang lugar. Hangad din namin dito na makapag-introduce ng mobile processing facilities for food. Nang sa ganon, yung ibang mga ani na hindi transport sa isang lugar na kung saan sila pwedeng i-process ay pwede nang puntahan itong ating mobile processing facility. Hindi naman agad-agad ito magiging available pero kasama na po ito sa mga dinedevelop namin ngayon. At finally, ay gusto kong banggitin na ang amin naman pakikipag-collaborate sa mga higher educational institutions at diyan sa atin sa Bulacan ay nandyan ang Bulacan State University at meron pa rin ibang mga pribadong universidad na pwedeng makipag-collaborate sa Department of Science and Technology in many ways. Nandyan yung research and development na may kinalaman sa food. Nandyan po yung pag-develop ng innovative food products. Ang DOST Food Innovation Center ay naka-base sa Bulacan State University. At nandyan din po yung aming plano na i-expand ang facilities ng ibang universities para sila ay pwedeng magkaroon ng toll processing system for food processing. So, natitiyak ko na malalampasan natin ang ating mga pagsubok na pinagdadaanan at tayo ay makakabangon at uunlad at aangat muli ang ating antas ng pagnenegosyo, ekonomiya at nang sa ganon ay tumungo sa ikabubuti ng kalidad ng buhay ng ating mga mamamayan, particular na po dyan sa ating probinsya ng Bulacan, na alam naman na nakararami na ako po ay taga Bulacan, Bulacan, aking magulang, lolo't lola, aking asawa, at dyan ako nag-aral sa Bulacan at sa Malolos, ay kaya po hindi ko mapapalampas na magkaroon ng ganitong programa na hindi ako makasama. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, DOST Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña. Narito rin sa Justice Maria Teresa Arcega. Loyal Buffex followers are familiar with a very popular singing contest dubbed as the Buffex Kids, which has discovered great young singing talents. One of them is our performer who, after winning in 2016, also bagged the International World Champions of the Performing Arts in the United States. And he has done distinct in concerts in the music museums and other venues. Please give it up for our very own Buffex champion, Dana Alexa Arciaga. That was an awesome performance. Once again, palakpakan po natin ang napakagaling Buffex champion Dana Alexa Alciaga. Siyempre, hindi mabubuo ang Buffex kung wala ang suporta ng taong namumuno sa lahat ng mga Bulakenyo. Mga kaibigan, ang ama ng Bulacan, Governor Daniel R. Fernando.
Opo. Saka mix na rado po namin ng pinto. Opo. Opo. Kung nakapag ikaw dito, diba? Kayo yung nasa labas. Eh, hindi yung kumakalabas. Tingnan mo nga yung audio. Eh, wala ka siya. Grabado. Mahina pa rin. Hello po.
Babalikan po natin ang ating mahal na gobernador para sa kanyang mahalagang mensahe para sa ating lahat. Nagkaroon lamang po ng kaunting problema, particularly sa signal ng ating internet. Well, talagang ganyan, tuloy-tuloy ang ating programa.
Mahina daw po.
Wala ba tayong speaker mic?
Wala po ang naging mic, sir.
Dapat ginagamit nyo kayo, no? KGL meron ako.
Sige po.
Ano, okay na tayo?
Dali lang po.
Moving on to introduce our first speaker for this morning, I'll give you BCCI Executive Director Mara Bautista.
Good morning. Everybody in Bulacan is interested about San Miguel Corporation since it embarked on its ambitious Aerotropolis project, which is perhaps the most significant investment that would benefit our province in our time. Today is the third time we are giving the floor to San Miguel as our way of showing our support for their choosing our beloved province, Bulacan. Having Mr. Ramon Ang, the President of RSA's message in person. Our speaker is a graduate of marketing and psychology courses from the De La Salle University and eventually earned his MBA degree in international finance from the Fordham University's Graduate School of Business. Prior to his stint in SMC, he worked with the Commercial Bank of Manila, the United Coconut Planters Bank, Philippine National Bank, and as president of PNB Capital and Investment Corporation. Today, he is the Chief Financial Officer and Head of Treasury of San Miguel Holdings Corporation. As I said, this is his third speaking engagement in Bulacan, as he was with us when we first launched the Invest Bulacan campaign in 2018. My dear friends, it is our honor to introduce Mr. Eduardo Raul C. Romulo.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay si Raul Romulo, CFO ng San Miguel Infra, and I'm here for in behalf of our President, Mr. Ramon S. Ang, who unfortunately could not be here today. He prepared his speech personally and asked me to deliver it to you. And this is what I'm about to read. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Good morning to all of the members of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Allow me to read to you what our President, Mr. Ramon S. Ang, has prepared for this occasion. Thank you for your kind invitation. I have been looking forward to joining you today for the first time, kahit po virtual lang. But unfortunately, some very pressing matters came up at the very last minute. I humbly ask for your kind understanding and hope that I will have the chance to join you again in the future. When I was preparing for this conference, one of the things that really struck me was your theme, Kalusugan at Kabuhayan, Yaman ng Pamayanan. Essentially, it captures the very same message I want to impart to you today. Right now, our country is going through the most difficult and challenging crisis we have ever faced in a very long time. The whole world, including the largest, most developed, and most prosperous countries, are all having a hard time coping with COVID-19. On top of the threat to our health and our lives, this virus has also greatly affected our economy. So many businesses are struggling. Many have had to scale back on their operations, or worse, shut down. As a result, many Filipinos have lost their jobs. Napakaraming pamilya po ang apektado. San Miguel Corporation has not been spared. In fact, while we had a strong start to the year, most of our major businesses reported huge losses by the end of the first half, due largely to the necessary restrictions that have been imposed to stem the spread of the virus. We have had many initiatives meant to help our countrymen cope with the pandemic. Almost 6 months in, I still believe that life is far more precious and important than anything in this world. That is why we have done everything we can to help government, our medical frontliners, and poor communities cope with this pandemic. Saving lives is not limited to saving our COVID patients. We also have to look at welfare of so many Filipinos who are vulnerable to hunger because they have lost their livelihoods. Marami po sa inyo dito, mga food business owners. Compared to other businesses, food is generally a more resilient business because it is a necessity. But I am sure that like us, you have faced challenges whether in procuring goods or raw materials, ensuring the safety of your workplace and employees, and most especially, getting our products to more customers. Alam po namin na sa panahon ngayon, ang mga business owners na kagaya ninyo na nagbibigay ng trabaho at kita sa mga Bulakenyo ay nangangailangan din ng suporta. Allow me now to tell you about how we in San Miguel intend to help local businesses and the whole of Bulacan. Despite the economic downturn, we have committed to press on and continue all our major investments, especially in Bulacan. What are these investments? First and foremost is our 734 billion peso plan to build the largest and most modern world-class international airport here in Bulacan. I am proud to say that this is the single largest investment by any Filipino company in the Philippines, and we are bringing it here to Bulacan. What this means is that we will be generating hundreds of thousands of direct and indirect jobs for Bulaqueños, just for the construction phase alone. Once this is complete, we are estimating 30 million tourism-related jobs. So many of our family members, friends, relatives who have perhaps lost their livelihood because of the pandemic can be employed here. There will be so many job opportunities that I think it will be a constant challenge for us to fill them. With these jobs, our people will start earning good money, which they can use to pay for their needs, primary of which is food. So many of our local food companies, food retailers, suppliers will benefit. Hindi lang po pagkain. Workers and their families will need practically everything: shelter, clothing, services. Sa madaling salita, this project will give a boost to Bulacan's economy. Kayo pong mga nagnenegosyo ang aasahan namin at ng mga magiging empleyado at trabahador sa airport na magpupuno ng napakaraming pangangailangan. And when the airport is completed, there will be even more opportunities because everyone will come to Bulacan. More investors will come, generating more jobs and income for Bulaqueños, ultimately boosting local businesses. Bulacan will be very accessible because of the infrastructure system we are putting up to support the airport, including expressways and railways. Which brings me to another ongoing investment we have here, the MRT-7 project, which will connect Bulaqueños directly to Metro Manila. Kapag natapos po yan, marami sa Bulaqueño hindi na kailangan lumuwas ng Maynila para magtrabaho. In fact, it will be those from Metro Manila who will come to you. Many people will buy properties here. This means a bigger market for local businesses and of course, higher property values. Maswerte po yung may mga property na ngayon. Another major investment that San Miguel completed here is of course the Bulacan Bulk Water Project. Because of this, many Bulaqueños now have access to clean, potable water. Kung maaalala niyo po, not so long ago, Bulacan did not have a good source of water. Kahit nandito ang Angat Dam, karamihan kumukuha sa deep well which is not sustainable. With the Bulacan Bulk Water Project, clean, potable water is now accessible to many homes. Dadami pa po ang makikinabang as more water districts connect to us. Finally, another initiative that is very important to us is our Bulacan Flood Mitigation Project. We all know that since time immemorial, Bulacan has suffered from perennial flooding. Aside from the fact that many areas are really low-lying, solid waste pollution and the clogging up of rivers and waterways over so many decades have worsened the problem. Even before we got approval for the airport, project, I had already committed to the people of Bulacan that San Miguel would help address this problem. I'm proud to say that we have already started our 1 billion peso initiative to dredge the Tulyahan-Tinajeros River. By dredging the Tulyahan, floodwaters will no longer spill over to low-lying areas, including Bulacan. Instead, they will freely flow into Manila Bay. With government approval, we can also start dredging key waterways and tributaries here in Bulacan to further mitigate the flood situation. Apart from that, we also recently started in Hagonoy our plan to plant 190,000 mangroves all over Bulacan and Central Luzon. This is to help mitigate tidal flooding. To provide additional income for people in Hagonoy, we also intend to seed 100,000 mud crabs monthly into the 10-hectare mangrove forest there. The mud crabs will help mangroves grow big and strong, and at the same time, they can be a major local industry for coastal dwellers. I will stop here because I might have already taken so much of your time. But rest assured that we are just getting started. Marami pa po tayong gagawin para sa Bulacan. I want to assure you that San Miguel Corporation will always be here and that we will continue to help the province any way we can, not just today or during the pandemic, but more so after it. As we always say in San Miguel, sama-sama sa laban, walang iwanan. Sama-sama po tayong babangon, mabuhay tayong lahat at maraming salamat po. Gandang umaga sa inyo. Thank you.
Lubos po ang aming kasiyahan sa inyong pagdalo, sir. Kasama niyo po kami sa pagtahak ng landas tungo sa kaunlaran at kasaganahan para sa mga Bulakenyo. Muli po nating ibinabalik ang ating mahal na gobernador para sa kanyang mahalagang mensahe para sa lahat. Governor Daniel R. Fernando.
Sa namin, sa signal namin, medyo nawawala-wala po, no? So, sa inyo po lahat, muli po, salamat po sa BCCI sa pagkisikap na may daos ang napapanahong politikong ito. Sa kabila ng kinakaharap nating pandemya, muli nating bibisitahin ang mga oportunidad sa pagninegosyo sa ating lalawigan. Ang pandemya bumago sa lahat ng ating dating kinasanayan. Sa loob ng ilang buwan na ikutan nito ang buong mundo at nagati ng di mapantayang pigati at paghihirap. COVID-19 has changed the business landscape for everyone. Ang bawat negosyo apektado ng pandemya. The business environment changes as we progress in combating the virus. Some of the changes may be temporary and some may have long-term effects. Kung may mga katangian pong isang negosyante, ito ay ang kakayahan na makikipagsapalaran para sa magandang kinabukasan. Iba ang diwa ng isang negosyante. Kung saan ang nakikita ng karaniwang tao ay problema, ang natatanong naman ninyo ay solusyon. Kung saan ang nakikita ng karaniwang tao ay kahirapan, ang mga natatanong naman ninyo ay ang oportunidad, opportunity. Ito ang pag-asa na gusto nating buhayin sa ating lalawigan. Sa gitna ng pandemya, ako po ay nag-ikot sa buong lalawigan para kumustahin ang ating mga kababayang nagnenegosyo. Ito ay ang aming pinalabas sa pamamagitan ng isang video log na kung saan pinalabas po noong araw ng Bulacan noong August 15, kung saan ay tinatanggal natin ang mga produkto at negosyong Bulakenyo. Pinalaw po natin sila, inalam natin ang kanilang mga kalalagayan sa panahon ng pandemya at hindi rin po sila pumayag na sila ay tulukan ng pandemya ito. Kaya tuloy-tuloy ang pagtataas ng negosyo, ang kabuhayan, at hindi sila napigilan. Bagamat maraming nabago, maraming pangamba at kawalan ng katiyakan, pilit po tayong babangon. Wala tayong pipilian, kundi ang labanan ng pandemya. Habang continuo tayong nagbabalik sa normal na daloy ng buhay, there is no trade-off between health and economy. Nasabi ko po yan doon sa aking video log kung ano ang pagpipilian, kung ang negosyo o ang kalusugan. Well, the only way to survive is to fight the pandemic. while doing our best to open up the economy. Ipapasalamat tayo sa ating mga panawihin. Ano po, sa araw nito, sa umagang nito. Unang-una po sa ating senador, Sherwin Gatchalian, sa kanyang mahalagang pagdalo sa ating pagtitipong ito. Salamat po sa kanyang hatid ng mensahe at ihatid ng mensahe para sa ating mga negosyante. At higit sa lahat, mapalat po tayo sapagkat nakapiling natin ng San Miguel Corporation sa pamumuno po ng ating kaibigan ang magdadala ng mas mataas na pag-unlad sa ating lalawigan. Walang iba kundi si Mr. Ramon Ang. Isang malaking inspirasyon po na makasama ang isang business leader na minsan man ay hindi sumusuko sa anumang dagok ng buhay. Sa kabila po ng kinakaharap natin pandemya, ipinagpatuloy nyo ang proyekto para sa pagtatayo ng New Manila International Airport sa lalawigan o sa aming lalawigan. Dahil nandito, nabubuhayan tayo ng loob na sa tulong at gabay ng dakilang Diyos ay bubuhos pa rin ang biyaya ng makabagong industriya at kabuhayan sa lalawigan ng Bulacan sa mga darating na araw. Kahapon lamang po ay napag-alaman ko na ang ating mga returning OFWs ay kasama sa bibigyan ng prioridad sa pagtatrabaho sa konstruksyon ng ating international airport. Salamat po, Mr. Am. Ito po ay bahagi lamang ng 1 milyong hanap buhay na malilika sa mga darating na panahon. Maraming salamat po talaga, Sir Ang, sa bagong pagkakataon para sa ating mga kababayan. With the COVID-19 pandemic, San Miguel was more determined to push through with large-scale infrastructure projects such as the airport to boost the economy and provide employment to many Filipinos who were rendered jobless by this pandemic. Sa mga nagninegosyo sa Bulacan, ang pagkakaroon ng isang international airport ay dapat nating pagandaan. Ang progreso ay magmumula hindi lamang dahil sa economic activities sa mismong airport. This international airport will generate economic growth, create direct and indirect jobs, and facilitate international trade and tourism. Nasa atin po ang pagkakataon na magbuo ng estratehiyang pagnegosyo upang makibahagi sa nakadakdang kaunlarang ito. Ano po? At dahil nga po ng ating ni Mr. Ang na ang Bulacan daw ay gawing seafood capital. Ano po? Isang malaking tulong po ito para sa atin. At sa bahagi po ng pamahalang palaligan naman, nakabuong po ang ating mga pagkilos sa economic recovery and reintegration ngayon at sa mga susunod na papahinga. Una po sa lahat, nais ko pong ipabatid sa inyo ng ating lalawigan ay nakahanda po sa paglaban sa COVID-19. Ang lalawigan ng Bulacan ay isa sa mga lalawigang pumanin ng paghangal ng National Task Force on COVID-19. Dahil lang po sa ating maagap at mahusay na COVID response. Nakahanda ang ating mga ospital, meron po tayong naitatag na COVID surge plan. Nariyan ang ating Bulacan Infection Control Center at Bulacan Molecular Diagnostic Lab. Nandiyan din po ang ating Gene Expert Lab. Itatatag din natin ang isa sa pinakamalaking contact tracing center at mega quarantine facility sa ating rehiyon. Ito ay isasagawa natin habang unti-unti naman tayo binubuksan natin ang ating ekonomiya. Ikalawa, inihahandaan natin ang hanay ng pamahalaan, mga paaralan, mga tanggapan at pamayanan, kabilang ang lahat ng sektor ng ating lipunan upang makabahagi ng mga paparating na kaunlaran. Ikatlo, we shall create a multi-sectoral council, technical working groups, and other platforms focused on business development collaborations upang makatulong sa ating mga negosyante, lalo na sa panahon at pagka natapos na po itong pandemya ito. Ikaapat ay yung paglalaan po ng mga polisiya upang ang magiging bunga ng darating na kaunlaran ay maging biyaya para sa bawat mamamayang Bulacanyo. Ikalima po ang mga local
businesses na nais makabahagi o makabahagi ng kaunlalang magmumula po sa New Manila International Airport at iba pang development sa ating lalawigan, ay bibigyan natin ng pagkakataon sa pamamagitan ng pakikipagkaisa sa Bulacan Chamber of Commerce. Well, dalangin ko po na makabalik na tayo sa normal na daloy ng buhay. I want you to know that we are committed to help you navigate through these challenges and advance your business objectives. Ako po ay lubos na nagpapasalamat sa inyo, sa inyong mga mahal sa buhay at inyong mga manggagawa and dedication during this challenging time, and we are all in this together, and we will get through it together, and we will fight as one and we heal as one. So maraming salamat po. Let us prepare to regain our opportunities in these challenging times. Magtulungan po tayo upang itong dagok at balakid ay maging isang biyaya at pagpapala sa ating sambayanan. So sa inyo po lahat, maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po ang ating pong Bulacan Chamber, ang ating pong Buffex. God bless.
Maraming salamat po sa ating napakahusay at napakasipag na gobernador, Governor Daniel R. Fernando. Now to introduce our equally honorable and valued speaker for this event, here is another young and vibrant board member of the BCCI Corporate Secretary, Attorney Agatha Paula Cruz.
Hello. Hello. All right. Our next and equally brilliant speaker, whom we are all fortunate to hear from today, is more popularly known by his rather prophetic nickname, Win, because even despite his very young age, he has already emerged as a winner in the various fields he has embarked upon, both in the private sector and in his career as a public servant. But please don't let his young, boyish, and matinee idol good looks fool you. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian has almost 2 decades of public service under his belt, where he has distinguished himself with his honesty, integrity, and relentless drive to serve his countrymen. His call for public service began in 2001. Senator Win was initially elected as Valenzuela City's first district representative, then later as the mayor of Valenzuela City in 2004. Under his professional and innovative style of leadership, Valenzuela City was transformed from a sleepy factory town into the first-class city it is known today, recognized by various institutions like the Galing Pook Award as a Center for Innovations and Excellence, by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry as a most business-friendly local government unit, by the World Bank as a business-friendly city, and by the prestigious National University of Singapore for innovations that made business transactions and tax collections faster and more efficient. He effectively helped transform Valenzuela's education system into one of the nation's best. Upon his return to Congress in 2013, Senator Win set out to nationalize some of Valenzuela City's most effective education reforms. In 2015, he filed the original version of the bill that would radically expand access to college education for millions of Filipinos. The House Bill number 5905, more commonly known as the Free Higher Education Act. He then made the move from the local political arena to the national stage in the May 2016 elections, where he successfully won his bid for a Senate seat, with his promise to pass legislation establishing a free tuition scheme in universities and colleges. Only a year into his term, the Senate approved the Affordable Higher Education Act for All, a consolidated version of Win's Free Higher Education Act. This measure was eventually enacted into the universal access to quality tertiary education in 2017, setting the stage for millions of young Filipinos to attain free college education. Now in the 18th Congress, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Basic Education, Arts, and Culture, Senator Wen continues to introduce further reforms to bring the Philippine education to world-class levels, as well as other measures aimed at fostering a competitive, investor-friendly, and a red tape-free environment in the energy sector and in the Philippine economy in general. The foundations for Senator Wen's Gatchalian style of public service and education advocacy started with his own education at the prestigious Boston University in Massachusetts, USA, where he graduated with a degree in finance and operations management. He finished his elementary and secondary education at the Grace Christian High School in Quezon City. To be sure, it is Senator Wen's Gatchalian's diverse experience in the private sector prepared him for public service, building his management, problem-solving, and leadership skills. He previously served as the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of the Buffex Group, one of the leading diversified firms in the Philippines, with investments in hotels, casinos, real estate development, oil exploration, petrochemicals, mining, aviation, trading, and banking. He has also served as the Vice Chairman and Director of Air Philippines, the Vice Chairman of Waterfront Philippines, President and Chief Executive Officer of Plastic City Corporation, the country's fully integrated manufacturer of plastic products. In the midst of the current global pandemic, Senator Wen continues to serve his countrymen by advancing legislation and policies to assist Filipinos during this crisis, while continuing to pursue his advocacies for waste management, reforms in the power and energy industry, and quality education for all. A testament to his forward-thinking, agile, and responsive leadership, very relevant to today's launch, Senator Wen has introduced Senate Bill 1591, or the Internet Transactions Act, which aims to resolve key concerns in the country's e-commerce industry, such as internet and logistics infrastructure, payment mechanisms, taxation, and online consumer protection. Ladies and gentlemen, mga kapwa ko Bulacanyo, karangalan ko pong ipakilala ang ating susunod na keynote speaker mula sa ating kapitbahay na dati po ay parte ng ating minamahal na lalawigan, ang progresibong lungsod ng Valenzuela, kilala sa mga plastic pero ang kanyang serbisyo ay hindi plastic at lagi pong sincero at mahusay. A senator of the current 18th Congress, iginagalang Senator Sherwin T. Gatchalian.
Thank you, Attorney Agata. Maraming salamat, Attorney Agata, sa napaka-komprehensibong pagpapakilala. Kulang nilang love life ko at
pwede rin, Senator, pwede ko pong i-reveal. Follower po ako ng Twitter ninyo.
Buti na lang love life namin ni Gov, secret. Hindi mo talaga mababanggit yun. No? But thank you very much for the kind introduction. And bago po ako mag-umpisa, halain niyo pong batiin ko po ang ating mga panauhin. Malinaw po yung dating ko, Attorney? Is it clear?
Clear, Senator.
Thank you. Unang-una, binabati ko po ang ating buting gobernador, Governor Daniel Fernando, at binabati ko po siya at ninanais ko yung kanyang mabilis na recovery sa kanyang kalubaan. At binabati ko rin po ang si Mr. Ramon Ang at ang kanyang kinatawan, si Mr. Eduardo Raul Romulo. Binabati ko rin po ang ating presidente ng Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ambassador Benedicto Hico. Binabati ko po ang chairman ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chairperson Corina Tenco Bautista. At of course, binabati ko rin po ang president ng ating chapter, President Cristina Tuzon. Binabati ko rin po ang EVP ng Northern Luzon, si Ms. Gregoria Simbulan. And binabati ko rin po ang isang board member na aktibong-aktibo. Madalas po natin nakikita ito. Ito rin mausbong ang love life. Bulacan Board Member Ramon Posadas. Nandito rin po sa aming listahan si Undersecretary DTI Blesila Lantayona at binabati ko rin po si DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. Muli, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita ho sa akin dito sa inyong pagtitipon. Kakaiba po itong pagtitipon ho natin dahil ho ito ay virtual. Yung huling pagpunta ko ho dito o huling pagsali ko ho sa inyong pagtitipon noong 2016 ay physical. At sa ganitong punto may papakita lang po akong slides. Si-share screen ko lang po. Oops. Naka-disable po ako kung pwedeng maki-enable po. May si-share lang po akong mga slides. Dun sa host. Okay. Doon po sa host ng ano natin kung pwede pong paki-enable. Okay. Hindi po ako makashare ng slides. Ayan, okay na. All right. Yan. Yun po, ito po yung 2016 na magkakasama ho tayo at ito po ay physical activity ho natin dito sa ating fair. At alam niyo, nami-miss ko ho talaga itong mga fairs at events ho dahil kahit na mas conveniente ho itong virtual, pero mas personal at interactive po yung physical. Dahil natitikman mo yung pagkain, katulad po nito, nakakausap mo yung ating mga local officials, katulad po ni Vice Gov Willie at ni Gov Daniel. At dito po talaga tayo nagkakaroon ng maraming pagkakaibigan at friends. At dito ka rin nakakahalubilo with yung mga local entrepreneurs ho natin. Kagaya ho ni ito ho, yung babae, si Councilor Tina Perez ng Hagonoy. So sa mga ganitong physical activities ho, dito ho talaga nating nagkakaroon ho tayo ng maraming interaction at ako na-inspire po ako sa mga maliliit na negosyanteng nakakahalubilo ho natin sa ganitong event. Nakakausap natin sila, nalalaman ho natin yung kanilang problema at higit sa lahat, natitikman natin yung kanilang produkto dahil physical na nakakausap at nakukuha ho natin doon. Pero mga kasama, nung pandemic, meron tayong lahat. No? Lahat po tayo, meron po tayong nakitang pangyayari. At ito ay yung pag-usbong ng mga online entrepreneurs. Ito yung mga maliliit na entrepreneurs na nagbebenta po online. At hindi lang ho to sa Metro Manila ang nangyari, kundi sa buong Pilipinas. At ito ay para sa akin inspirasyon rin dahil nakita natin na marami sa ating mga kababayan kahit na nawalan ng trabaho, lumit ang kita, pero pumasok po sila sa pagninegosyo kahit na maliit, no? Kahit na simple, pero pumasok po sila para po madagdagan yung kanilang kita. At ito po yung mga ilan sa mga popular na nakikita natin sa mga online orders. Ang paborito ko ho dito yung baked sushi, no? Na tingin ko ngayon baka kung merong 100 klaseng baked sushi, meron ho. But ito yung isa sa mga paborito kong pagkain na lumabas sa online selling. Ganun rin po, marami rin ho tayo nakitang mga gamit para labanan ng COVID, mga mask, mga PPEs, itong mga sa alcohol para hindi ho hawakan yung alcohol. Marami rin tayong nakita mga gadgets tulad ng UV, tulad ng itong pangpindot ng elevator na actually kakaiba rin dahil kung ayaw mo hawakan yung pindutan sa elevator, pwede mong gamitin to. Ewan ko lang kung pwedeng gamitin sa asawa to, no? Para hindi mo nahawakan asawa mo, gamitin mo na lang itong gadget para wag mo na hawakan yung asawa mo kung ayaw mo siya hawakan. Pero marami ho tayong nakitang mga ganitong gadgets, pagkain na umusbong dahil sa pandemya. At nakakatuwa at nakaka-inspire dahil marami palang gustong maging negosyante sa atin. At yung online ay naging daan nila para maging negosyante. Kaya dito po sa isang presentation ng DTI noong August, itong nakaraang buwan lang, ay pinakita nila na during the month of the ECQ, April, May, June, July, ito po yung panahon ng community quarantine, nakita natin ang dami nagparehistrong mga negosyo, almost 4,000% ang increase. No? At tingin ko marami dito ay membro rin ninyo na lihitimong gusto magnegosyo, lihitimong mga gustong kumita at madagdagan yung kanilang kabuhayan para po meron silang mauwi sa kanilang pamilya. Ito yung mga legitimate na mga negosyante, malilit na negosyante na nagparehistro sa DTI para alam ng ating pamahalaan na itong mga negosyante natin ay legitimate at hindi fly-by-night. Pero mga kasama, kaakibat rin ito ay mga problema. At pinakita rin ng DTI na umusbong rin at dumami ang problema na nanggagaling sa online itong 2020. Makikita natin nung unang mga panahon, maliit lang yung mga complaints galing online. Pero ngayon, pumalo na ng 12,000, almost 6 times more nung 2000 compared to 2019. At makikita natin yung online transaction, lumalaki yung kanyang share pagdating sa complaints. Ngayon, before, last year 22%, but ngayon 39% na. At makikita rin natin na majority ng, kalakihan, hindi majority, but kalakihan ng mga complaints ay galing po sa mga popular na platforms na ginagamit natin. Ako po ay isang masugid na tagapagsunod ng Shopee and Lazada. Isa po ako masugid na tagahanga at fan ng Shopee and Lazada. Pero aminado tayo na marami ring complaint na nagagaling po dito sa platform. Ito po ay galing sa DTI noong August. Itong nakaraang linggo lang nung nag-present po sila tungkol sa online transactions. At doon sa aming pagdinig, nakita po namin na marami rin po palang mga pirated videos, pirated software na binebenta sa online platform. Ito po ay pirated software na binebenta sa online platform. Meron din mga pirated movies na binebenta sa mga online platform. At ang pinaka nakakabahala po yung mga ganitong pagkain na binebenta po sa online platform na meron pong FDA warning. At sinasabi ng FDA na huwag nating kainin to, huwag natin ikonsumo dahil ito ay delikado sa ating kalusugan. Pero madali po itong mabili sa online platform na karamitang ginagamit natin tulad ng Lazada, Shopee at iba pa. At mayroon din po mga supplements na binibenta na ganun rin po na hindi ho dumaan sa FDA at nag-issue FDA ng mga warning, public health warning dahil po sa ganitong produkto. Ito po ay isang brain supplement. So yung mga gusto maging matalino o mas mag-improve yung memory, delikado ho ito. Baka lalo pang maging bobo ho pag kinain ho ito dahil nga may health warning. At ganun rin po sa mga vitamins and supplements na madali hong mabili sa mga online platforms. At again, ang FDA nag-issue po ng warning tungkol ho dito. So mga kasama, itong pagbibili at pagbebenta ho sa online ay talagang isang napakalaking oportunidad para sa mga maliliit nating negosyante. Ito ay napakalaking paraan para magbenta ho tayo ng mga homemade products natin at magnegosyo kahit papano at makatulong sa ating pamilya. Pero marami rin pong umaabuso dito sa online platform dahil convenient, madaling magbenta, madaling magtago at hindi ka mahahabol. Kaya mga kasama, dito po sa Senado, napag-usapan na ho namin yung Senate Bill number 1524 na 1591 na ang layunin ho nito ay maproteksyonan ang consumers ho natin. Itong bill ay tawag po ay Internet Transactions Act Ito po ay isang panukalang batas ho natin at ang layunin ay i-promote ang Filipino platforms and businesses, pero babalansehin ho natin yung interest ng consumers at ng sellers. Dahil alam rin natin na hindi lahat po ng sellers ay legitimate at may magandang layunin. At yun po yung na-present ho natin kanina na meron pong nagbebenta na hindi po aprobado ng ating mga government agencies. Kaya ho, itong batas na ito ay umpisahon po i-monitor, i-supervise po yung mga online transactions ng ating pamahalaan na ang objective po ay maproteksyonan yung ating mga consumers. Ito po ay nasa Committee on Trade and Industry at kakailanganin po namin ang tulong po ng Bulacan Chamber of Commerce para tignan mabuti at isulong ho itong batas na ito. At ito po yung mga salient points, mga halagang provision po ng batas na ito. Hindi ko na ho isa-isahin dahil marami po, pero gusto ko lang ho bigyan diin yung mga mahalaga dito po sa salient points. Yung number 1 po ay magtatatag po ng isang Bureau of E-commerce sa ilalim po ng DTI para i-supervise yung mga ganitong online transaction at sila na rin po ang magiging tanggapan kung meron po mga complaints galing po sa online. Number 3, ito po yung paborito natin lahat, magbibigay po ng tax incentives or tax exemptions dun sa mga maliliit na mga online sellers at online na entrepreneurs, mga negosyante ho natin. Alam natin ito yung pinakamaliliit at nasa loob lang ng bahay. At para maengganyo naman ho silang magparehistro at humingi po ng kumbaga pumasok po sa sistema ng ating pamahalaan, bibigyan ho sila ng incentives. At yung number 5, idiin lang yung number 5, na dito po sa batas, meron hong code of conduct. Ibig ho sabihin, may patakaran ho tayo para sa buyers and sellers at most especially ho sa sellers. Kung magbebenta ka, respetuhin po yung mga batas po ng isang bansa. Tulad po sa atin, mahigpit po yung intellectual property laws ho natin. Alam ni Attorney Agata yan. At meron ho tayo mga batas pagdating po sa pagbebenta ng pagkain. Respetuhin po ng mga sellers kahit na nasa isang ibang bansa siya. Kung ikaw ay platform tulad po ng Shopee, Lazada, respetuhin mo. Kung bawal po magbenta sa atin ng pirated, dapat wag na nilang ilagay sa kanilang platform yan dahil pwede humbilin ng ating mga buyers dito at pwedeng bilhin ng ating mga consumers yung mga pagkain na hindi ho dumadaan sa FDA. Oops. At isa pa hong mahalagang punto ho ay oops, ano ba ho ito? Sandali po. Yan, ay yung number 6, magkaroon ho ng dispute resolution para kung meron pong hindi pagkakaunawa o may reklamo ho, meron tayong mekanismo para mapag-usapan at hindi na magsampa pa sa korte dahil matagal po ang magiging kalalabasan ho niyan. At yung number 10 ay itong mga online platform ay joint and solidarily liable na sila doon sa mga pagkukulang ng kanilang sellers. Ibig sabihin, solidarily liable o magkadugtong na po ang liability po ng sellers at yung platform. Dahil karamihan po ng mga sellers nito ay nasa ibang bansa. Kung ikaw ay kumain po ng mga illegal na supplements, tulad po, may mga supplements po dyan pang pa-sexy at gusto mo magpa-sexy, tapos nabili mo yun. Pero pagkain mo na nagka-allergy ka, kahit na gusto mo ihabla o magreklamo, kung yung seller po nasa isang ibang bansa, wala kang kalaban-laban. Kaya ho ngayon gagawin na natin na joint and solidarily liable ang mga platforms para po mag-ingat yung mga platform sa pagbebenta po ng mga illegal at hindi po maayos ang produkto. So mga kasama, ako ay binigyan ko lang ho kayo ng update sa mga pangyayari ho dito po sa Senate Committee on Trade and Industry dahil ang ating grupo ay may kinalaban po sa trade and industry at sa pangangalakal. At suportado ho natin yung mga maliliit na negosyante na umuusbong ho ngayon. Suportado ho natin yung mga gusto pang maging negosyante sa mga susunod na panahon. Pero dapat balansehin din ho natin yung mga interest po ng sellers and buyers lalo na pagdating sa online. Dahil karamihan po ng mga sellers ay nasa ibang bansa na hindi ho natin maabot. Kaya itong batas na ito, ang layunin ay balansehin pero bibigyan ho natin ng malaking proteksyon, malaking bahagi ng proteksyon ang ating mga consumers dahil itong mga consumers po natin ang gumagastos at kailangan po nila malaman kung ano po yung binibili at tama po yung binibili nila. So muli maraming salamat po sa Chamber of Commerce and Industry Bulacan Chapter. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita.
Maraming salamat, Senador Republican ng Pilipinas, Senator Win Gatchalian. May we request everybody to open their cameras for the photo opportunity with Senator Gatchalian.
Ready po? Ready. Game po. First batch po. 1. Kala review. Okay po. 1, 2, 3, smile. One more po. 1, 2, smile. Second batch po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Yan. Third batch po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay na po.
Bilang pagkapatuloy, narito po si Ginang Pinky T upang ipakilala ang susunod nating tagapagsalita.
Our guest speaker is a globally award-winning brand architect, experienced risk crisis reputation strategist, movement maker, and marketing and communications innovator. An internationally award winner, champion of marketing as a force for good, her projects demonstrate that you can hit your business goals while still doing good for the country. She is the first communications professional in the country to become an ISO 31000 crisis management practitioner. One of the only professionals ever to be accomplished in both marketing and crisis management. She is also a certified enterprise risk management professional and awarded by the International Institute of Executive Training. She is the leading communications, marketing, and public relations forerunner in the sphere of digital transformation, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and other emerging technologies. She helps companies navigate through reputational, education, information gaps in any nascent technology. Currently, she serves as the Executive Director for the FinTech Philippines Association, the largest financial technology trade association in the country. As a champion of the technology, she sits on the board of the French Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines. As a champion of good governance, she is the chair of Young Leaders in Governance with the Institute of Corporate Directors. As a champion for innovations, she is the chair for innovations of the European Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines. She co-founded Geyser Maklang, one of the leading PR marketing communications, public affairs and risk issues and crisis management companies in the Philippines. Among our freshest member of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce, and we thank her for the honor, mga kabulakenyo, Bulacan's leading woman, the love of Bulacan, Miss Amor Maklang.
Hi, magandang umaga po. Malinaw po ba? Before I get started, I would just like to check if the audio is coming in clearly. Yes, ma'am?
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Pinky. Thank you. Thank you very much. You obviously are a friend because you made me sound more important than I truly am. Actually, the truth is, I think I am the least important and the least known of everyone speaking today. So I'll start off with introducing who I am. Most of you are probably wondering, kanino bang anak yan, di ba? Pag umuwi ka sa probinsya, that's the first thing. That's the first thing that they. Ask you. Just 1 second. Can you hear me? Okay. Pinky, Ate Mara, I would like to thank. I would be very remiss if I did not acknowledge our governor, Governor Daniel Fernando, and of course, Senator Win Gatchalian. I know him because of his advocacy related to energy. And I'll share a bit about our shared passion for that later. But there are 3 people I'd like to thank, specifically the president of the Bulacan Chamber, Ms. Cristina Tuzon, our chairman, Ms. Corina Tanco Bautista, and of course, our executive director, Ate Mara Bautista. Marami pong salamat. I've always been wanting to find a way to serve my province, and hopefully this will be the start. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the thing you have to understand is, if you cannot shrink your life into an infographic, don't bother, right? So we'll talk to you a bit about the importance of reputation equity. And reputation equity is not just how people know you're about the brand. Like, what do people know about Bulacan?
Just your team.
Wait, is it clear? I'm just gonna, can you guys just message me on the chat if it's clear? Next slide, please. Now, many of you are wondering, who the hell is speaking in front of us after such illustrious speakers? I wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge and introduce to you the reason why I'm so grounded in Bulacan. So these are my great grands from the Tangcolim side. Next slide. Next slide. Chino. And of course, I'd like to introduce you to my grandparents. I'm twice removed from a farming family, and my grandmother is a hairstylist. Her name is Soledad Robles Lim. Next slide. Chino, next slide. Who introduced to me my love for kakanin. Many of my foreign friends could not understand the weird cakes that I like. I absolutely will work for my weight in hito and burro. And I don't know if you can recognize the cookies at the end. Forget Queen Aman or Red Velvet. That is gurgurya. And with ginayat na dayap, I don't know if you can experience anything more sublime than gurgurya. Next slide. And of course, because most of I grew up with my grandparents, they've instilled in me a love for Art Nouveau and Art Deco. Next slide. These are my parents who have been suffering me since 1976. So they're really heroes and martyrs in their own right. And this is me. At 6 years old, in Kaingin, right? Visiting with my grandparents. Next. Now, I lived in a street where the empanadang kaliskis was first invented. So everyone knows Camercy Antonio, who I believe is actually a living culinary heritage in her own right. And of course, her partner, Ate Tessie, no? Camercy taught me how to make kaliskis empanada, not knowing that I cannot cook for the life of me. And many of you probably don't know the fact that she told me, Amor, I'm one of the original LGBTQ couples, probably in the Philippines. So we're very proud of you, Camercy. Next slide. Listen, you can take the woman out of Malolos, but you can't take Malolos out of the woman. I ran from home at 15 years old. I attended the Ateneo where I was a shitty student. I neither graduated with a degree from law or medicine, which turns out, that those are the only things that people think. If you graduate from them, you're a success. I did neither. Next slide, please. But there has never been a revolution that I did not take on. So my friend Pinky has mentioned that I serve in the board of different chambers of commerce. I'm the chair for innovation of the European Chamber. I serve in the French Chamber. We did a lot of investment promotions and branding work for governments like Singapore and the European Union. And all this time, I was telling myself, why am I not doing this for Bulacan? And why am I not doing this for the city I was born in, which is Malolos? I'm also a director and a co-founder, along with Ayala Energy and Malampaya Specs. This is Shell Malampaya of the Philippine Energy Independence Council. So we're all rallying for energy independence in the country. Later, during the panel, I'll talk to you about ways by which we can all survive online, because I'm also the executive director of the FinTech Philippines Association. So we'll show you the money even without touching the money. Next slide, please. But my grandmother, Inang Choleng, died not knowing what it is I do for a living. My grandparents thought that I was a travel agent because they see me traveling all over the world. So they thought that I was a travel agent. No? I usually use movies and TV shows to explain what it is that I do. So please allow me to do this very quickly for you as well. I'm sure you've seen the movie Scandal about risk and crisis management in the White House during the time of Bill Clinton. My work has been likened to that. Also, if you've seen the movie Inception, where they plant seeds of ideas in the minds of people, our work has been likened to that. But 2.5 years ago, when John Lloyd Cruz, before he retired, when he was celebrating his 20th anniversary in show business, ABS-CBN came to me and said, "Can we follow you, Amor, for a few weeks?" And so the personality of John Lloyd, which was a PR in this case, was loosely based on my person. Of course, I was hoping I was going to be Sarah Geronimo, right? But it turns out I was John Lloyd. Next slide. I'm sure you still don't get what it is that I do. But 20 years ago, my partner, Brad Geiser, who's really the brains of this enterprise, founded a ragtag consulting company called Geiser Maklang. And we're known primarily for crisis management, building reputation, and yes, getting people and companies out of trouble. I never thought that such a profession existed, but apparently it does, and you don't learn this in college. Next slide. Many of you are wondering what it is that we've done, and these are some of the industries that we've worked in. And to many of you who still don't get what it is that I do, next slide, I wasn't the first. I wasn't the first in PR who came from Bulacan, and I wasn't the first movement maker. I remember, nanungkit po ako ng mangga sa bahay ni MH Del Pilar in Bulacan, Bulacan. Thank you to Kuya Joey Meneses who brought me there. And I could really feel and understand why a revolutionary has come out of me. It's because I'm from Bulacan. Next slide. Now, let's get started, right? Let's get started. I wanted to use 4 examples and share with you 4 things how we can actually survive this particular crisis. The thing about COVID, right, is that it is the black swan that wasn't. Ano ho ba yung black swan na tinatawag? Yung black swan, wala daw naka-anticipate that COVID can happen. But a leading global risk and issues crisis practitioner who, when they were foretelling what would be the top risks for 2020, never included pandemic in its list. But here we are, right? This, you probably know who that gentleman beside me is. That is Mr. Robin Padilla, who's been a longtime partner and collaborator. We both love absolutely the country. And basically, we have a joint advocacy called Brand Pilipinas. The most important brand of all, we've built, my partner Brad and I have built many brands, from Havaianas to the city of Makati. But we realized that the most important brand of all is we've built the Singapore brand or even the European Union brand. But the most important brand of it all is our country's brand. And we hope to be able to translate this into brand Bulacan, brand Pilipinas. Next slide, please. Weekends growing up, I grew up in I go and visit my grandparents. I hope wherever they are right now, I would do them proud. And I remember eating the most succulent and the most delectable fruit of them all, which is the local bayabas. I don't know if many of you, please go and chat and engage me if you remember. Diba? If you cut it, it's not the Taiwan kind. It's the small ones with worms, with uod. And then in the middle, it's all pink. And it grows yellow outside. The most amazing thing. Now, yes, thank you, Ate Mara, Senorita Guavas, she's saying. But do you know that it's now easier to actually find Taiwan guavas than the Senorita Guavas? And a lot of that is because I feel that we have all failed the local Bulacan farmers. We have not made it profitable for them to actually plant bayabas. And the first thing that you need to learn in this pandemic, I'm not going to teach you to do this. I'm going to teach you to do this instead. V is for valorizing. If there's anything that you'll remember from this talk, it's probably this. What do I mean by valorizing? Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Do you know why farmers from France and Australia make more money than our farmers in Bulacan? It's because they know how to ascribe value to their agricultural products. We in Bulacan are an agricultural society, and we need to start embracing that. But we also need to give value to our agricultural products. In France, you hear about 5 things related to terroir, Terroir. When you buy wines, you look for terroir. It means the weather, the farmer, the technique, right? The craftsman, the process, and the soil. They give value to soil. You cannot call something champagne unless it came from the Champagne region in France, right? Here in Bulacan, we can do the same. No one makes burro like we do. I don't know if you guys eat burro. I think most of the people who are here are millennials and probably don't. Or I remember going to Sasa. I brought in farmers and also chefs to actually understand the value of our paumbong. Did you know that paumbong is a fruit? And over buying products like Datu Puti, Sukang Paombong has region. It has makers in Balayong. I don't know if you've been to Balayong. Sukang Paombong is far more superior than what you get in the grocery. And there is a very unique practice. You actually kick the paombong fruit, yes, that's the fruit of the sasa, and you do not mass produce it. I don't know if any one of you has ever drank tuba within 7 to 9 a.m., which is why it will never travel outside of Balayong or Paombong. And it's the best thing for your stomach. But how many people actually have gone out and valorized the Sukang Paombong? Or even the Gurguria cookie. Gurguria, I've traveled all over the world and I have never tried anything that comes close to Gurguria. And yet none of you in Bulacan, yes, I'm pointing my fingers at you, have actually elevated that to the premium product that it is. Next slide, please. So, yes, we have been attributed to promoting the tinalak. So in 2013, we were funded by the government of Canada. Yes, right, Miss Balagtas, ang sarap ng gurgurya, and yet no one is making gurgurya anymore. It's a shame on all of us. In 2013, funded by the government of Canada, we were brought on board to promote the Tibolis in 2013. So yes, I'm an adopted Tiboli. I'm a boy. I decided I was going to wear something from the ethno-linguistic tribes of Mindanao. And that's me carrying a tinalak bag. But guys, why aren't we doing the same thing? And now, the tinalak is considered the Hermes of Philippine fabrics. When I heard that, I really cried. Do you know that it takes 6 weeks? And for a woman not to sleep with her husband to make the tinalak weave. And now you have designers like Filipina, Aranaz, who are selling tinalak at a premium. We can do the same for our byproducts in Buffex, guys. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you what I was eating earlier. I was eating pastillas from San Miguel, Bulacan, from the Sevillas. I'll show it to you later. Because I refuse to eat anything except that. Next slide. Next slide, please. It's not just products that can benefit from branding and valorization. This is a yay for Balagtas. You know, I don't care if I only have 5 people listening to me, but if I could bring back your love for Bulacan and get you to move forward to promote it, then I would have succeeded in this talk. It's not just pastillas though. I was shown this, look at this. I love it. It's from the Sevillas of Bulacan, Bulacan. Thank you. It's not just products that you can valorize. You can valorize cities. You can valorize, like what we did for the city of Makati. This is the campaign we did for them. Make it happen, make it Makati. Why? Because if you are from Makati, you are a leader, and what do? You make things happen. City branding campaign and province branding campaign is very, very important if you want to be seen as an investment hub. We've done it for places like Iloilo, we've done it for Leyte, we've done it for places like Zamboanga, General Santos, South Cotabato, even the Cordillera region. I hope one day we could do it for Malolos and for Bulacan in general. Next slide. Last March, after a very competitive bid, we were appointed as the communications advisor in the government's fight for COVID. And I wanted to share with you some of the learnings that we had that could probably benefit your current businesses right now. See, I've moved on to Makati and they're still asking about Gorgoria. I love it. Right? Wala na ho akong mahanap na Gorgoria. I accepted this speaking talk hoping that they would send me over Gorgoria. Anyway, going back to the DOH, what are some of the important learnings that we've had working with the IATF and the NTF? In times of crisis, getting out and talking becomes even more important than ever. I know that most of you businesses, most of you are saying, all I need to care about are the problems that we have in our businesses. Anong pakialam namin, Amor, to go out and talk about other people's problems and businesses? The point is, now that we're in a crisis, we need to go out there and talk in behalf of each other's problems. And this is the challenge, this is the gauntlet that I'm throwing the way of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce. And that's why I rushed to become a member, because I'm not going to tell you to do things if I'm not part of the solution. Next slide, please. We recently launched the very controversial BIDA campaign, right? BIDA stands for 4 things: wearing of the mask, keeping distance, and of course, hand washing, and of course, disseminating the right information. The one thing that you need to learn about this is, as it was actually said by former President John F. Kennedy, in times of crisis, ask not what your government can do for you, but what you can do for your country. This is why we rallied some of the biggest and most important businesses in the country to actually look beyond their own concerns so they can come together and open up the economy. What do we mean by this? Most people are very afraid to open up their lives, right? It's not about the business, as what Mr. Ang said. It's all about opening up their lives. Yes, Tita Corina, Sandy Gurguria, thank you. Listen, when the businesses in Bulacan come together and work as one, setting aside the problems that you currently have, Amor, I don't have clients, etc. Why don't we have why don't we have BCCI and the governor a campaign to open up? Because the reason why businesses are not opening up is because of 2 things. People are afraid to go out. I bet many of you have not gone out in 6 months. More importantly, let's work together to get barangay level data. If there is only one person in your barangay, if there's only one person in your barangay that has COVID, you don't need to lock down an entire city, right? We support the chamber in its plans to start opening up lives and start building consumer confidence, right? The BIDA campaign is all about the private sector and the business community coming together to raise the country back again. Next slide. And this is my pakiusap. I know we all have different political affiliations, right? Thanks to social media, anyone, and it's so easy to create division between each other. The true skill right now is, how do we show unity? Sabi nga ni Governor, we heal as one, but if we are not one, we will not heal. Our enemy is COVID, not each other. Even if you have competing businesses, work together, build consumer confidence. Go out and speak in all of these events and these forums. Next slide. I want to give you one last example. How many of you guys know Angkas? Angkas is the motorcycle riding app that has the most number of downloads, close to 6 million downloads. The number one transport system in the country are not cars, they're not jeeps, it's not the MRT, it's not buses, it's actually motorcycles. The country has 19 million motorcycles all over the country, as opposed to probably 6 to 7 million for cars. So if you wanted a truly inclusive transport discussion, you will focus on motorcycle riders. Marami po ba? Marami po ba na mga motorsiklo sa atin sa lalawigan ng Bulacan? Yes or no? I'd like to see the chat also. Now, the reason why I raised this, yes, Ma'am Rina Anyag and Ma'am Maria Carandang, thank you. The reason why I raised this is because you probably have heard that Angkas, when it first started, was actually banned by the LTFRB 3 times, not 1, but 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. So if you were a business, and if the government tried to ban you 3 times, what would you do? You'd probably say, screw this. You know what? I will bring my investment somewhere else. But that's not what Angkas did. They have been living through their own little crisis for the past 3 years now. And despite the fact that there were some facets of government that opposed them, they continued to champion not just the 19 million motorcycle riders, but also the good of the country. They're right now championing transport in a time of COVID. What do you learn from an organization? Na Senate hearing pa nga ho kami. My God, no? Pati ako, natawag sa Senate hearing, right? Because of Angkas. But what do you learn from Angkas? Even if you are going through a crisis, do not ever make yourself small. Make your objectives be bigger than yourself. And in the case of Angkas, they're championing transport in general. Next slide. Because in a crisis, there are only 2 groups of people, victims and leaders. And next slide. And because we are from Bulacan, we do not do victim. I have 8 points that I'll discuss with you during the panel discussion. But for now, I wanted to keep the floor open for questions. I would like to thank all of you. Ma'am Corina, Ate Mara, and Ma'am Christina, and of course, Governor, for allowing the little girl from M. Tanco Street to speak before all of you very important and esteemed people. And we look forward to serving Bulacan with you together. Ate Mara, we'll bring it back to you. I know we have questions and a panel. I have tips on how to make money online, but maybe we can talk about that during the panel discussion. Salamat po.
Thank you, Ms. Amor. Let us now proceed to a short panel discussion to be participated in by members of the Board of Trustees, Corina Tenco Bautista, Vic Mendoza, Attorney Agatha Cruz, President Christy Tuzon, Senator Wen Gatchalian, and Governor Daniel R. Fernando.
May I first? Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning po.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the time that you spent with us, for giving us hope here in Bulacan. And it is our honor and privilege that you spoke before us in this Buffex conference, Buffex 2020, with what you shared with all of us and the participants. Nabuhayan po kami ng loob with your sharing, especially your love, the love that you have for Bulacan. Bulacan Chamber of Commerce is very much willing. You're very much welcome to be a member of Bulacan BCCI, Bulacan Chamber of Commerce. And thank you very much for expressing your intent to be one of our members. It will be an honor for us. So thank you very much for your time.
President Christina, actually meron ho ako. Nandyan pa po ba si Senator Win?
Senator Win, Ruth?
I don't know if Senator Win is still there, but Chairman Corina and
Nandito
President
po
Christina,
si Senator.
Nandyan
Opo.
pa?
There's actually one project that I think we should ask the good senators help, right?
Yeah.
It is the idea of filing a bill for geographic indicators. Ano ba yung tinatawag na geographic indicators? Sorry, obviously mahilig akong I love agricultural products anywhere, and the French has so much to teach us. Hindi mo pwedeng tawaging champagne ang isang bote ng alak kung hindi siya galing sa Champagne region. Baka po pwedeng humingi tayo ng tulong kay Senator Gatchalian to file a bill, right, that talks about the importance of geographic indicators. For example, empanadang kaliskis. Now, all of a sudden, right? I'm sorry. Hello, Kamercy. I'm doing this for you. Now, all of a sudden, I see restaurants in Manila selling empanadang kaliskis, which I know came from Malolos. And you know, Chair Corina, Executive Director Mara, President Christina, they taste nothing like what we have in Malolos, and they look nothing like what we have in Malolos. But I want to be able to sue anyone who uses empanada de Malolos or ensaymada Malolos or Bulacan, those who use our geographic indicators, if they don't come from our province. That's one thing we can ask Senator Win's help. Ang tawag po dyan ay geographic indicators, and I can send you copies of probably precedents that's happening in France. I serve in the French Chamber. I'm part of the board of the French Chamber. And basically, we need to elevate our products. Paumbong, you cannot use the word paumbong if you're not from Paumbong. And hopefully what that will do is it will help actually encourage more tuberos. Did you know that a maker of suka is called a tubero? And it was copied by the Mexicans, who now also make tuba, right? They're also called tuberos in Mexico. They learned it from us in Bulacan. So I hope that Senator Win could help us with that. Over.
Thank you. We'll study your proposal. Let's see. We'll study it. Thank you.
And also on the field of digitalization, Chairman Corina, I know that no one wants to hold money now. We look forward to working with the office of Senator Gatchalian. I'm the executive director of the FinTech Philippines Association, and we're championing for more cashlessness, right? Let's have a FinTech talk for BCCI, how to show you the money without touching actual money. And we can get some of the leading stalwarts from Dr. Tito Ortiz of Union Bank, Ron Hose of Coins.ph. We could be a leading center for BCCI for distance learning and education. And hopefully this is also something that we could do with Senator Win. One of the key trends, how you can make money during the pandemic, is by focusing on distance learning. I graduated from Immaculata Academy. I studied in Ateneo. I was a shitty student, I tell you. But Bulacan is a thriving hub for education in the country, in Central Luzon especially. Why can't we have more advanced courses and adult courses, right? Coming from La Consolacion, coming from Bulacan State, etc. That's a second trend by which you can make money. E-learning, right? E-learning. The first one was really about focusing on local products. Local has never been more sexy, right? And I tell you, if there was someone who was selling local products coming from Malolos, it's going to really, really sell a lot. Someone from Quezon City told me that they were selling bringhe. Because now they're like the ones my grandmother made. Sayang naman, right? Diba? Galing yan sa atin sa Malolos. Any questions? I have 6 more ways for you to make money, but if there are questions, please let me know. Ate Mara?
Yes. Sino kasunod? Ninya, pakisa ko.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Thank you so much, Miss Amor Maklang.
So how else can... Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah. So there's a saying that reputation precedes revenue. But it's something that's built over time, reputation, which unfortunately MSMEs now don't have the luxury of, because talagang their instinct is really they have to survive. So what would your advice be if there's a need to pivot or to quickly change or however in this new normal so that they can build a reputation with the time that they have now? And I have another question, ma'am. Bulacanos also, well, all Filipinos in general, are known for their unique brand of hospitality, malasakit, diba? Service-oriented. But now in the age of COVID, where face-to-face interaction or a personal touch is not encouraged, in fact, bawal. When we are forced to keep a physical distance, as a business person, how can we authentically connect and still bring that personal touch in the way we do our business? So those are my questions.
Hi, attorney. Maraming salamat po sa tanong. Actually, 2 things. Could someone update me? Ano po ba ang current status natin sa Bulacan? GCQ po ba tayo?
GCQ.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tita, GCQ, opo. So, limited openings, no? Okay, number 1, in terms of the reputation, guys, it's not true that Bulacan products don't have a reputation. You have one of the oldest and most outstanding reputations out there. We just haven't gotten it together to collectivize it. Remember, for example, our product, okay, do you know that my suka right now, I'm so embarrassed to say this, is coming from Cavite, right? I buy it from Cavite. I refuse to buy any grocery suka. My bangus right now is coming from Dagupan. Literally, Dagupeña, the restaurant from the 1920s in Dagupan, is now shipping weekly bangus from Dagupan to Metro Manila. I can now get lamayo, danggit from Palawan through an online store called Baligya. So I'm very excited about what Buffex is doing, and not just because of self-serving purposes. Because of what you're doing, 70% of all businesses on e-commerce have closed, but the business has grown by 750%. This is according to Lazada and Steve C, who are one of the forerunners of e-commerce in the country. And the reason for this is people now have more money and they're buying online. So attorney, hindi po totoo na walang reputation ang Bulacan products. I-collectivize po natin ito into one portal. Tama po ang ginagawa ng Buffex. At ang i-promote natin, hindi lang individual businesses, let's promote the Buffex brand, the Bulacan brand overall, right? My longganisa now comes from Kalumpit, from makers in Kalumpit, and it's shipped to me. I don't care if I pay 200 or 300 pesos for delivery, but as long as I eat authentic Kalumpit longganisa with 1/4 of which is taba, right? Kalumpit Longganisa is 1/4 taba. No one can beat that. No one. So it's not true, attorney, that we do not have a reputation. We have one of the oldest reputations, close to more than 100 years, right? So I will have to beg to disagree po. But the other thing is, ano nga po yung isa niyong tanong, ma'am? Yung huli pong tanong, sorry. Attorney?
Paano natin,
one is the reputation.
Without the face-to-face interaction, how do we still connect
Yes.
with our customers?
Got it. Okay.
Oh, but also,
so right
ma'am,
now we're on
I do agree
GCQ.
that we have the best
And one of the
I don't think that we don't have the reputation. So it's really like, how can we emphasize pa? Ano pa yung strategies namin? So thank you so much.
Yes.
We have to integrate, valorize, and really help collectively para talagang mas ma-remind pa yung mga tao kung ano ang mga produkto sa Bulacan.
Tama. Or if, aside from Senator Win, let's make a call out to our congressmen. We have several to file a bill on geographic indicators. And if we are able, we will support as Geyser Maklang Bulacan for free. Because this is something that's very, very important. Very, very important for us. No, really. You know what? I don't usually made me cry, and I was just so happy. I do keynotes 3 to 4 times a week. No, 3 to 4 times a month. But I think this is one of the most important keynotes that I. Going back, tourism, domestic tourism. Someone from Pampanga go to Bulacan, or hindi po pwede? Or someone, pwede po ba? Can they cross provinces?
Might be too far.
May checkpoint po ba,
Yes.
Auntie?
Meron pa.
So hindi po, meron pa.
But,
So what we need to do is domestic tourism. So like, for example, guys, this is the time for us to get creative, right? Number one, I would like to challenge you guys. May tourism committee po ba ang BC? Kung mayroon, I want tourism. I would like to challenge. Can you hear me, Ate Mara?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah, Pamarawan. When I was growing up, my lola would always say, don't stay under the sun, mag-aamoy ka, taga Pamarawan. Right? So, it's terrible, right? And then I visited Pamarawan and I love the place. It could put, di ba? Amoy daw Pamarawan, no? What a great disservice to the people of Pamarawan. But they serve an amazing cuisine, right? Bidbid, right? We can do mangrove planting and mango tourism, guys. Mangrove tourism. When my husband and I went to Ecuador, ganun lang po yung pinupuntahan namin, mga mangrove. Why don't we create, with the help of San Miguel Corporation, let's ask them for support to plant the longest mangrove para prevent ang pamamaha sa Malolos, and also at the same time, it could be a tourism destination. People are looking for domestic tourism opportunities. We just have to be creative about it. I think Pamarawan is a great place. Another place is, ayan, we use bid-bid. Diba? Kaya ako ang taas ng standards ko sa fishball eh. My foreigner friends are like, why do you eat that shit, Amor, fishballs? Because in my head, I'm used to eating bid-bid. And my grandmother would make me bid-bid, right? Which they don't make anymore. Doña Remedios Trinidad. When I was growing up, everyone said, put ano yan ng NPAs. But guys, have you seen Masungi? Masungi Geo Reserve is an ecotourism destination for biking, active fun, etc. Guys, we can do that for Doña Remedios Trinidad. So you could do businesses, you could start ecotourism. The millennials here in the group, I want to challenge many of you. do cultural cooking tours, ecotourism tours, because right now that everyone's on lockdown, they're doing for something meaningful to do. Thank you, attorney. Diba, Miss Maria Carandang, Masungi is an ecotourism destination. Doña Remedios Trinidad, Bulacan can be the same, right? And I have high hopes for Pamarawan also. Kahit mag-amoy tayo na taga Pamarawan, we don't mind.
Next in line is Miss Corina Tenco Bautista.
Amor, I'm so proud that I'm related to you. Where's Amor? I
Here
can't see Amor.
po.
Well,
Here
I can
po.
see you though. Don't worry about the tourism, the domestic tourism. Don't worry, your cousin Miguel, my son, just acquired a house in Santo Niño, an old house, which he's going to do a bed and breakfast. And it's not only bed and breakfast because right behind it is an ilog where dun pa lang from the bed and breakfast, they can already ride a motor banca and bring them to Pamarawan, to so many places. So like, it's not just going to be for you to sleep overnight, but to see places, and it's going to be promoting Malolos and the other towns as well. So that will be a dream.
Nako,
That will be
Auntie.
a dream come true soon for you.
You know what? I'm really getting teary-eyed po kasi lalo na po yung mga anak ninyo. Ako nga po kinakatakot ko kasi yung anak ko, yung mga pamangkin ko, hindi na po, wala na pong tie to Malolos. I was talking to Dr. Lydia Echaus, right? She serves in the board of Shell. Shell po is one of our clients. And sabi ko nga po, yung mga anak niyo po, Dr. Lydia, umuuwi pa po ba? Baka hindi na. I'm so happy. I wish I can meet Miguel. And actually, President Cristina and Chair, hi! I will help and support. And I already deposited my payment for corporate membership.
Welcome.
Ayan,
Thank you for being a member. Welcome.
Yes. Happy to support po, Auntie. Yes, sir, Mr. Simbulan.
Mr. Esguerra.
Ma'am, Sir Hermie.
Hello. Hi, Amor. Thank you for that very comprehensive talk. You are really a pride of Bulacan. You know, I'm the chairman of the Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Inc. And we're always in search for the best Bulaqueños and Bulaqueñas. But you have to be awarded first as a Dangal ng Lipi award, Lipi Award. And I will ask the provincial government, the coordinator, to get in touch with you to get your details so that we can nominate you and eventually for you to join the Dangal ng Lipi Awards, because the way you talk, you know more of more things about Bulacan than most of us. And it will be an honor for us to have you in the Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, Inc.
Nako, I would like to serve muna po the chamber and my province before I can even be considered. But marami pong salamat, Mr. Esguerra. I think kung meron po ako mga classmates na nakikinig ngayon at yung mga kaedad ko, no? Tulad nila Ate Mara, etc. Ang hinihiling ko lang ho sa inyo ay, kasi I remember we had a reunion before, and I was saying to them, guys, we should take on projects like the planting of the mangroves, kasi nga sobrang nalulungkot ako na binabaha ho tayo. Unfortunately, I've been living in Makati, pero hindi ho ako registered sa Makati. Lahat ng pamilya ko naka-register na dito. I refuse to be registered anywhere but Malolos and Bulacan. Kasi taal na taga Malolos po ako. But sabi po nila, Amor, hindi natin yan trabaho. Trabaho yan ng local government. Pero palagay ko ho, mali na paniniwala yan eh. And this is probably where the Bulacan Chamber can really help. Siguro pwede ho tayong magtrabaho with the universities and the college level. Kasi ako na-appreciate ko lang ho ang pagiging taga Malolos at taga Bulacan ko after I left. After I started working for, my God, we've done work for the government of Ethiopia, the government, the European Union, Singapore, Canada, US. Tsaka ko lang ho na-appreciate na grabe, yung kinalakhan ko ho. I grew up in 968 M. Tenco Street, right? Hindi ko nga ho alam. Opo.
Hindi tayo
na nandun ho yung empanadang kaliskis, doon galing.
Hindi tayo nagkakalayo ng layunin. At ang Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation is also a private organization among the Dangal ng LIPI awardees. What I'm saying is, pwede ka doon. I want your passion. I want your energy. I want you to, we are inviting you. Makasama ka sana doon.
Happy.
Okay?
Nagbibigay po ba sila ng libreng gurgurya? Kasi kung nagbibigay ng gurgurya, I will join. Pero kung wala, I have to think about it.
Pag nag-a-attend ako ng board meeting namin at saka yung mga meeting namin, palagi ako nakakakuha ng mga libreng mga kakanin mula sa Bulacan. So, mababait ang kasama nating mga taga-Bulacan.
Opo, syempre, we're from Bulacan. Thank you po.
Bigyan mo na lang kay Mara yung contact address mo and you'll get
Happy to serve. Happy to serve po. Marami pong salamat, Mr. Esguerra. Happy to serve, sir.
Yeah, Sir Hermie, Ace Ichon and I should have worked for Amor's nomination this year sana. Kaya lang, hindi kasi nagkaroon ng dangal. Kung may
sige.
Ay, si Ma'am Ace. Naku, isa pa natin yung kailangang haltakin pabalik. Napakagaling na businesswoman yan. Galing po siya ng Balayong. And I don't know if many... Balayong, Malolos. Opo.
With Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation. Okay.
And no one
makes... She's our vice president now.
Ay, awesome. Happy to serve. And no one makes bolyos better than the people in Balayong.
Madami akong natututuhan sa iyo, Amor.
Ako po, tuwing umuwi, maraming natututuhan. Tita Corina, I would love to, if Miguel can probably be active in the tourism, I will be more than happy to support in whatever way possible. Yan pong Kamistusuhan Street, I brought in before chefs from all over, TV personalities, and they loved it. And my God, right? I just love coming home. Thank you.
Thank you. Ninya.
Yes, we'll learn a lot from you guys. Yes, Mr. Hermie.
Before I sign off, because I'm going to another Zoom meeting, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Buffex organization for this year. I think this is one of the best Buffex event that I have seen. Maraming salamat and congratulations, President Tina, and all the staff, all the officers. Maraming salamat. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hold mo muna for the...
Our pleasure, Sir Hermie.
I know, no picture muna tayo. Let's have a groupie with Sir Hermie. Let's have a groupie before he leaves.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Christy, do you have any question?
Just want to thank Chairman Hermie Esguerra. Maraming salamat po, sir, sa pag-attend at pagbigay mo ng inspirational message to our participants and to our merchant. Si Sir Hermie po ang aming chairman ng Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation. So, Ma'am Amor, direct from our chairman, meron ka na pong invitation. So, probably you can join us in the near future. Maraming salamat din po. So, we can open our cameras now for our picture taking. Thank you.
Okay, everyone be ready for our photo opportunity with Miss Amor Maclang. Okay, open your photo video camera.
So, 1, 2, 3. Smile. One more po. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Second batch. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Third batch po. Smile po. Open your cameras po. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay na po. Salamat po.
God bless.
At this point in time, may I now call up BCCI Vice President for Ways and Means, Ms. Rina Anyag, to lead the appreciation rites.
The Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry awards the following virtual certificates of appreciation to our benevolent speakers for today, namely San Miguel Corporation Holdings, Mr. Raul Eduardo Romulo, Senator Sherwin T. Gatchalian, and Ms. Amor Maclang for their most valued participation as speakers during our launching ceremony, for generously sharing their insights and words of inspiration to bring hope and encouragement to all of us in the midst of this global crisis confronting us. With grateful hearts, please accept this simple token of appreciation. We thank you all so very much. We really got inspired. Nabuhayan ho kami. Naging maliwanag lahat. Maraming hong salamat sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rina. Do not leave yet, guys. We are raffling off 1 mountain pies and 2 winners of 2,000 pesos cash prizes at the end of the program. Music break muna tayo. Our original Buffex Kids champion, YouTube sensation. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Kalumpit, Bulacan, John Harry Rodriguez.
Kung hindi ngayon ang panahon na para sa iyo, huwag mainip dahil ganyan ang buhay sa mundo. Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa, darating din ang ligaya. Ang isipin mo'y may bukas pa na mayroong saya. Kabigo ay hindi hadlang upang tumakas ka. Huwag kang iiwas pag nabibigo, dapat nga lumaban ka. Ang kailangan mo'y tibay ng loob kung mayroong pagsubok man. Ang liwanag ay hindi magtatagal at muling mamamasdan. Ikot ng mundo ay hindi laging bigati kasawian. Ang pangarap mo ay makakamtan, basta't maghintay ka lamang. Kung hindi ngayon ang panahon na para sa Huwag mainip dahil tiniyan ang buhay sa mundo. Huwag mawawalan ng pag-asa, darating din ang ligaya. Ang isipin mo'y may bukas pa na mayroong saya. Kabigo ay hindi hadlang upang tumakas ka. Huwag kang iiwas pag nabibigo, dapat nga lumaban ka. Ang kailangan mo'y tibay ng loob kung mayroong pagsubok man. Ang liwanag ay hindi magtatagal at muling mamamasdan. Ikot ng mundo ay hindi laging bighatid kasawian. Ang pangarap mo ay mapapagkamtan, basta't maghintay ka lamang. Kailangan mo'y tibay ng loob kung mayroong pagsubok man. Ang liwanag ay di magtatagal at muling mamamasdan. Ikot ng mundo ay hindi laging bighatid kasawian. Ang pangarap mo ay magkakamtahan, basta't maghintay ka
Wow, awesome. It was indeed one touching song with a universal message. Things happen in God's perfect time nga naman. Huwag mainip, maghintay-hintay lamang tayo. Let us first hear the closing words from our chairman, Ms. Corina Tenco Bautista.
Sorry. Good afternoon. It has been one productive morning for all of us today as we open Bulacan Business Week and launch Buffex Online into the World Wide Web. It is a very beautiful undertaking as it provides everyone with an opportunity to earn a livelihood or to earn additional income or to generate employment for our workers. The BCCI, true to its role as economic prime mover, continues to find creative ways to promote local businesses and create an environment conducive for business growth. We thank our speakers, Mr. Raul Romulo, Senator Win Gatchalian, and my very smart niece, Amor Maclang. We thank our project partners, the provincial government of Bulacan, headed by Governor Daniel Fernando, the Department of Trade and Industry Negosyo Center, Globe My Business, and San Miguel Corporation. We likewise thank all our sponsors and supporters, the participating merchants and the participating buyers, patronizing buyers. Please spread the good news about Buffex Online. Last but not the least, we thank the Lord Almighty for continuing to bless us with good health so we can pursue our missions according to His will. Have a good day and see you again in the next 3 days for more fun and learning encounters during the Bulacan Business Week. Marami pong salamat.
Maraming salamat po. Alright, the most exciting moment for our followers. May I please request everybody to open your video cameras again for the open. We can also conduct our raffle. one mountain bike, and 2 sets of cash prizes of 2,000 pesos. Each will be raffled on September 7, 8, and 9. 7 mountain bikes and 2 smart television will be given away on September 10. Just stay tuned and follow us in Zoom and win these raffle prizes. Okay, be ready. Yung ating mga Zoomers, please stay online and mag-draw na tayo kung sino yung mananalo for today. So, focus lang po tayong lahat. Talaga namang high-tech din pagdating sa pag-draw kung sino yung mananalo for today. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, ang mapalad na nabunot ngayon. Ayan.
Wala po siya.
Jocelyn H. Alcantara, you will receive message from our BCCI. Ayan, bibigay natin sa iyo yung prizes. Okay, stay tuned. May ko-contact po sa iyo, Miss Jocelyn Alcantara. Nandiyan po ba si Miss Jovelyn Alcantara?
Wala po siya. Wala po
ay
siya.
puno tayong muli. Mag-countdown tayo. 1 to 5. Okay lang ba sa inyo? To be fair? Okay, para naman dun sa talagang naghintay from the start hanggang sa matapos ang ating programa. We will count. Okay ba sa inyo? Okay, in 5, mag-PM ka, Jovelyn, kung nandyan ka, ha? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So, bunot ulit tayo. Mag-draw tayo. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Baka kayo na po ang mapili namin na winner ngayong umagang ito. Okay.
Ma'am Corina!
Oh my God. BCCI Chairperson Corina Bautista. Ano po ito, ma'am?
Tita Corina, you're so lucky.
Win?
Pamigay na lang. Pamigay. Thank you.
Meron chance ang karamihan. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Corina. Mag-draw ulit tayo. Everybody focus on the screen. Sabi ni Ryan, sana mapili din daw siya. Okay! Ayan!
Ano ba siya?
Joy Good! Magka-count ulit tayo. Mag-PM ka kung nandiyan ka, ha? Present ba tayo? Present,
Present po siya.
Present. Okay, congratulations!
Ma'am, yung may nagme-message po kanina. Nandun daw po si Miss Jovelyn. Kaya lang wala po yung pangalan niya sa list ng participants.
Bakit?
Nagme-message po si Ralph Angelo.
Nakaregister ba si Jovelyn?
Siya daw po si Chabilita.
Okay, double check lang din natin to.
So wala na, tapos na yung 2,000.
Recap po.
So, dalawa na yung winners ng 2,000.
Mountain bike na po ito.
Okay, for our mountain bike, ready na to. Carita de Castro. Nandiyan ka ba?
Congratulations, Isay.
Tuwan-tuwa!
Ito po. Congratulations mo.
Ano registration ni Clarice?
Registered yun, ma'am. Sharing lang po kami ng monitor.
Okay.
Very good.
Oo, tapos na.
Okay. Well, congratulations to all the winners for today's event. This is not goodbye because we will see you all tomorrow for the Agripreneur Day, on Wednesday for the Trade and Industry Day, and then for our culminating sessions on Thursday, highlighted on online video okay singing contest. All on Buffex Online 2020. Once again, this is your host for today. My name is Linia Benaventura.
Music. Parang music.
The Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry would like to thank the following event partners: Globe My Business, San Miguel Corporation, Union Cement, Dangal ng Bulacan Foundation, the Provincial Government of Bulacan, the Department of Trade and Industry. We would also like to thank the following donors: Aspen Philippines, Bahay Natisa Restaurant and Catering Services, FC De La Cruz Construction and Concepts, Good Greens Plus Company, Hiyas Water Resources Incorporated, Meka Pacific Corporation, Royal Crest Cement Corporation, St. Agatha Resort and Country Club, Standard Insurance Company Incorporated, Manuela Gonzalez Concrete Pipes Incorporated, Metrover Services Incorporated, Metro Bank, Freeway Motor Sales of Baliwag Corporation, an anonymous donor friend of BCCI,
Okay.
Congrats, Ms. Mara and President Christie and the whole staff. Tulog muna kayo. Alam ko hindi pa kayong tutulog.
Hello, Chairman. Oo, nawala ako eh.
Nawala na nga siya. I have to go, pakakainin ko yung caregiver ni Mami. Tomorrow.
Congratulations po. Thank you po. See you bukas ulit.
Hey.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po.
Bukas po ulit, hintayin niyo po yung Zoom link para po maka-join po ulit sa susunod na mga araw.
Okay, thank you po.
Bye.
The province of Bulacan, known for its vital role in Philippine history and its rich heritage in culture and the arts. Its historical sites, nostalgic old houses and churches, idyllic ecological destinations, religious attractions, colorful festivals, elegant native crafts, sumptuous delivery.
Nga ba? Ayun, teka, nakamute. Hindi ako nakamute.